Marla, um,
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 humana, awooga. Jaw drops to the floor. Eyes bulge out of head.
thing that's
I hope you get high-fived with a chair in the face!
Hair in my fucking eye. I should have my own, like, chill music in the background for my brain.
pegged boy.
I'm not pegged. I'm not pegged. I have never been pegged, and I never will be pegged. Bubbles.
No, not attitude.
I don't want to be pegged. I have no interest in being pegged.
I understand. It's not with that attitude. Can't say I'm wrong.
I should be careful because Bubbles is an artist and they have power. A good artist at that.
They're really good. That is correct.
I've seen a lot of their porn. It's pretty good.
I'm any all Zikras, thank you, 52 months. Um, Go. What are coming to a paying conversation?
Because of Tot.
It's kind of standard by now. I feel like.
I mean, if you're not if you come into this stream expecting not
Even
explicit conversations, what are you doing?
yeah, like when I was watching Shiloh and she was talking about period and
Pooping?
yeah,
Yeah, when you get to like a certain point of like popularity as a woman, you can talk about you know, pooping and period and all that stuff, and then people just accept it. They're like, "Damn, that's
yeah. When
hot."
you reach a certain like Then they cut when you reach a certain level of fame, it becomes funny rather than disgusting. It's
Exactly.
weird.
Otherwise, it's gross. It's a double it's like money. Like you can do crazy shit and people think you're just crazy, but if you do it and you have money, then they're like, "Ah, that's artistic."
Y- Yeah, or reckless spending.
Yeah. I mean, that's I don't think I'll ever live to
Yeah,
see the day where I get that kind of money. Be nice. Chat, anyone want to
no
donate
continental
like
money.
$20,000 to me?
eh,
A
A small
small
donation, a
donation.
small loan.
Yeah, it's like a loan, but you're not getting your money back.
Yeah, I'm sitting very uncomfortably. I don't know why. Specifically for like, specifically for these podcasts, I can never like. I don't really feel comfortable sitting. I don't know why.
You need the right chair. That's why. If you get like a good
Yeah, I
chair where you
guess.
feel comfortable, What the fuck? I've never seen your ears do that.
Through do what?
They like went down. Yeah, I haven't seen these ears do that. I saw the old ones, but I've never seen these ones
Had her
specifically go. We,
as okay, that's kind of like also like I feel like
I hope
streaming
you get
in
high
general
fived
is like
with a
another
chair
topic
in the
that
face.
is kind of like the Lily Shy Lily thing, but
what do you mean?
I used to be like more one to one with how I am off stream. On stream, like back in the day, like 2020, that was fairly one to one. At least fairly one to one, as in how I would be like in public off stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mitch Rector's
I
not happy.
I remember.
Um, yeah. Nowadays, I definitely I've taken streaming more seriously, I guess. So in the sense of trying to provide entertainment somewhere, like for people to like kind of not blank out, but like not think about like problems and stuff. And that's also why I try to not share too much of like issues and bad stuff going on, stuff I'm dealing with, because stream is supposed to be like an escape, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
because
see
of that,
that.
I just instinctively I show more happy like expressions rather than the sad face, and I do have the ears like linked to the sad face. So
Well, I mean, that's the like. There's a certain point where like, yeah, you want to put your best foot forward and show your best self for your chat, but then you don't become relatable, and relatability is what streaming is all about. Because if you show this perfect image of yourself, for the camera, then you become less approachable, less, relatable, and not everybody wants to watch that.
how about that is why like, huh? That's probably a good like reason why Shiloh can talk about stuff like that, because
Yeah, everybody poops
talking about
except
those
her.
topics is in society, just in general, it's topics we don't really talk about in public, even though it's something like, peeing, pooping, everyone does it. It's human.
Yeah.
Everyone farts. Stuff like that.
I,
But
wow.
in smaller groups and stuff, you don't really talk about it because it's like considered,
Yeah, and I mean
weird.
that is, talking about that kind of stuff is very like, oh, I'm being brought in on like a very uh uh what's the word? Like a niche topic of conversation, or like a very like close-knit thing. Like you don't tell just anybody, about how big the shit you just took was, right? But like if you say that to
Yeah.
people, it's like, "Oh wow, they trust me. We're close on this information," which is kind of going into the parasocial stuff.
Uh, Therefore, just,
Social Oh, do you have
well,
do you have social rules?
yeah, kind of. I was
Huh?
gonna comment on it. Just wanted to thank Wanamasi. Thanks for 53 months. Welcome in Cantus. And yes, in Sweden we definitely have like not really like official rules, obviously. No, you broke from. God damn it, Owen. Um, yeah, we definitely have like different kind of like social rules. Or we just like ways you're expected to kind of behave, or things to not do, things to not say, stuff like that. Typical.
Hmm. I mean, do you have any examples? Because I'd be curious as to like
I'm trying
stuff
to
that
think
y'all
of it.
do. Like,
Um,
like here, like in America, for example, there's generally like a rule of like, when you're with friends or when
Yeah,
you're with
that's
like
moving
friends or
camera.
family or whatever, politics, money, and religion are like the three topics that like you are not taboo to talk about, but are like
Taboo.
you
That
don't
was
really
the
want to
word, by the
talk
way.
about those. They're very like sensitive topics, so you try to
Yeah.
avoid them a bit more.
Yeah.
Is it
Um.
the same?
See, I'm trying to think. I don't think we really. I can't really think of stuff like that in particular. One thing very recently that I kind of like experienced was that I told my mom that I had tried edibles
Mm-hmm.
while in San
I was
Diego.
there.
Um, didn't really feel anything, by the way. Didn't really do anything for me. But I told my mom, and even though I did explain that, one, it's legal there. Two, I didn't feel anything, didn't do anything. She was still kind of like freaked out, like, you're doing
Uh,
drugs?
yeah. So like, drugs have
You
more
know,
of a
she's,
stigma over there. Like even just simple
yeah,
weed.
Why would you throw that at a cat on the internet?
I mean,
it's
yeah,
not
that's
really
fair.
exactly the same, but, yeah,
They're more like taboo, I guess. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. Is what Incantus saying correct? As a Swede yourself,
Don't think,
you can read it aloud. That way, there's not dead air while you're reading.
sorry, I'm still trying to figure out the sitting properly and stuff like that. It's pissing me
Just
off.
sit.
I don't
You,
know. It
no,
shouldn't, but I know,
no,
I
you
know,
just
I know.
you sit on your
It's not a
butt.
big deal, but there we go. Just had to enable that. Okay. Um, couple of suggestions. One, don't think you're special in any way. Two, don't share mental issues or stress. Um, three, don't overly show affection in public. Not the best example, but some of the easier that comes to mind. Swedes also won't tell you if they dislike you, but they will talk about it, just never to you.
Do you dislike me, Tot?
No, I don't dislike you. You're pretty cool.
Well, see, now I don't believe because like they don't. You. I've just been told that they don't tell you to your face if they dislike you. This whole time when Chad is saying, "Oh, she hates us," and you're like, "No, I don't," you might actually hate them because, like, as a Swede, you're not supposed to tell people that you hate them.
See what you've done?
What do you? What do you?
Steelbird,
What do
sorry.
you?
There we go. I was adjusting the keyboard, okay? I should
You're
be all
really
good now.
shifting around. But yeah,
Yeah, I should be all good.
the
Hi,
American
Falcon. Hi, Fubu.
thing of
Sorry.
like it was something I experienced. Showing affection for some people is more allowed or less allowed or like not allowed but like socially acceptable. Like I'm someone who I'm not really gonna show affection until I like really start to like someone, and then it becomes very obvious, and like I wanna show that. But I know that some people are like, no, I don't want to show public affection. Is that like is that how it is
Um,
in Sweden? Are people walking around like keeping their distances when they're banging?
people definitely keep distance. Yes, that was one of the things that I was actually thinking of. Um,
Hmm.
perfect example being like if you're waiting on a bus, there's the whole meme of you gotta stand like 10 foot apart or something like that. Something stupid like
Hmm.
social distancing was kind of a joke because It was
Y'all were
always
already doing
kind of
that?
been doing it. Yeah, kinda.
Damn, y'all were ahead of the curve
Um,
on that then.
yeah,
Must have been easy. Just stay the
we
fuck
may have
away from
caught
me.
COVID because the restrictions was just how we already lived. Yeah, pretty much. And hi, Kuritsu. Um, all right. There's definitely more stuff. I do agree to a large extent to what you were saying, like the examples you gave. See,
Me
let me
or
scroll up. I don't know.
them?
In
Incantus.
Cantus, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially don't share mental issues or stress. That one, I think, especially, it's getting better, but in general, it is definitely like, I don't know if it's because the like older generation. I do think that Sweden in general feels very progressive when it comes to that stuff. Um, but it's still kind of one of those things that, yeah, I think it has more to do with like the older generation. Like my generation is very understanding. Back when I worked at my job, my like team leader, as they're called, um, they were very understanding. They knew my situation and everything like that. They knew I actually hated the job and all that. But like they
Mm.
were, I think they were like 2, 3 years older than me or something like that. Super understanding, all that super cool. Um, but when it comes to like older people, older generations, they're kind of like very much so on their mindset of just go to work, just get through it. You can't feel bad.
Yeah, I
My
don't know if
dad is very
that's
much in that way as well. Like he doesn't show emotions. He is
yeah.
very emotional. I know that for a fact, but he doesn't show it. He kind of just shuts down, very
Yeah, I don't
introvert
know if that's
almost.
I don't think that's a Swedish thing. I think that's just a general generational thing. Because in America, yeah, there's the whole fucking boomer meme of like boomers are stuck in the past and they, very we like things the way they are now and the youth is more open and gay, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, and also,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of been ingrained in people, and I guess it's much bigger with the older generation of like, if you're a man, suck it up. You can't you don't show emotions. You have to be the stoic one and all that. And that's how a lot of people end up being fucked up because they just have to suppress that emotions because that's the societal norm.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it gets better. Hopefully in the future things, those habits die out with that generation.
Yeah. As I said, it is getting better. Like, um, yeah, no, it's getting better just in general.
That's
I
good.
do think it's maybe more of a generational thing rather than Swedish in particular. But I don't
Mm.
know what else there might be that you could use as an example for like Swedish like social things. If you want to think like Swedish social things, pizzas here in Sweden compared to like most other places, okay, it's kind of a
Mhm.
known thing here in Sweden that we don't really think about it. Like when people say pineapple on pizza, it's like that's not even a meme or anything. Like that's just
It's
it's
just
a
pizza.
Hawaii. Yeah,
Yeah.
here in Sweden we have things such as like curry banana chicken with peanuts pizzas. We have clan pizzas. We have so many different varieties of pizza toppings here that you can probably give like any example and we have it.
Why? Why do you just open up your
I
cabinet and like, oh, we'll take a bit of that and a bit of that and just throw it on the pizza and pop it in the oven?
I don't know. And
Have some
that's what I mean. Like,
standards.
it's completely normal here. Like, we don't even think about it.
That peanuts? The
Yeah.
clam on pizza?
Yep. Of course, we have the
maybe
standards as well.
that's why Chromia won't ERP with you because she knows what you do to pizzas. Have you ever thought about that? Because just saying, makes a lot of sense. Oh, have you ever
Ugh.
had surstrumming? I know it's like a
Why
meme
would you
for
throw that at a
Sweden, but
cat on the internet?
I heard it on
Pizzas are
like
just half sandwiches anyway, and we put everything in
1 second.
sandwiches.
Yeah, what
what?
Blue and I just said. Pizzas are just half sandwiches anyway, and we put everything in on sandwiches. Yeah,
What the
that's
fuck?
pretty good summary, I guess. It's such a
For every
everyday
one
meal
scuff,
here.
there is one odor.
What did you say? I got
What did I
completely
say?
sidetracked by that. I
What
don't
did I say?
remember.
Oh,
Surströmming.
have you had
If I've
surstrumming?
tried
Yeah.
surströmming, yes. I've tried it on flatbröd, which is like a very thin, flat bread. Very basic, like
Yeah, you know,
you
flop
put
bread,
like a bit of
flat bread.
yeah, you put a bit of like diced, like very finely diced red onion, a bit of sour cream, some potatoes, and then a tiny bit of surströmming. Like not a lot. You should think of it kind of like a spice rather than meat.
But like once you
I
open
didn't
up
like it,
that
by the way.
can, it is open. It is there. How do you like not ow. How do you not like die from that smell?
One, you open it outside. Two, you open it underwater. That's how you're
Wh-
supposed to open it.
What? Oh.
Because then it doesn't explode. Then it doesn't like spew the liquid everywhere. Like you just crack it open and then you lift it up and open the rest.
Oh, I mean that makes sense, but I've never had to open up food underwater to eat it. Like that is too much work to
I
make
know.
food.
It is like a special holiday kind of food. It's not supposed to be something you have on a
Oh,
daily basis.
are you having surstrumming this Christmas, Tot? Is that what the
No.
finale is? You just sit down
No.
in front of the camera and eat a big can
No.
of surstrumming?
Fuck that. No.
Damn.
I didn't think it was that good. It doesn't taste bad when you actually eat it properly how you're supposed to. Like it's kind of like aged fine cheeses. Like they smell fucking horrible if you eat them
I don't
on their own. They're not the greatest, they're not the best, but if you eat them properly with like other stuff, then they're amazing. It's kind of like that I would say.
I'm not a cheese person either. Well, as in like aged cheese and like blue cheese and all that. Like I don't want to eat moldy food, and I don't get why people like eating moldy food because like what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's it. When food goes bad, you throw it out. You don't eat it. It's just disgusting.
So-
Although I would like to
yeah.
try cheeses. There are a lot of cheeses out there that look interesting, but I need to go to like a cheese platter thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we never actually introduced the show, by the way. We started talking on a topic like 5 minutes in, even though we normally wait like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess this wasn't like an official topic, I guess you could say. This was kind of
Welcome to
bantering.
Unscripted Toast. I'm your host, Boshi, and this is my lesser host, Totless, and this is Unscripted Toast.
I'm just here to well, the call of look pretty, but I'm not really that good
No,
at it.
I'm
So there we
I'm
go.
Christ, I thought you were naked for a second. That genuinely scared me. I'm the eye candy, excuse me. I would take my hoodie off, but I would look naked because you can only see my upper half. But yeah,
This tier intro.
is
Honestly, at some point we need to like do a tier list on one of these of just like previous podcasts or like the intros or something.
I mean,
Reuse
yeah.
content.
If we can do a tier list of like the past, how many would be a good amount to like how far in do you have to go before you can have your first episode looking back? It'd be like 20 episodes?
That's a good question. I don't know, honestly.
Because I feel like if you go for a whole year, let's see, there's like what, 65 weeks in a year? Something like that. And we do it bi-weekly.
Yeah.
So like 30 something episodes. That's still a lot to rank though, to remember. It's 65. I don't know how many weeks there are in a year. I don't know math.
Oh boy.
What?
I can tell you right now, that's gonna come back and bite you. If there's
What?
one
What?
thing I've learned, that's gonna come
What?
back and bite you. You just
52.
fucked yourself.
What? Because I thought there were 65 weeks in a year or something.
Yep.
I mean, listen, you leap years and everything. Why are people are really held up on that? But
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know math. Either way, so 52 have like 25 24 episodes would be about a year. We're on episode 6. Man, it's
Yeah,
gonna be a
roughly.
while.
Let's say
What?
22, 21 for good measure. Just because there's gonna be events during the year where
Yeah,
when like an episode might be pushed.
I was about to say,
So
is
yeah,
there like
just
are we,
simple, easy 20 plus.
I'm not asking this as like, oh, teasing stuff. I don't know if is there unscripted toast? Like the Christmas event stuff? I don't think there is, right? I don't remember.
No,
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 okay.
I think we discussed it as an idea for one day at one point, but
Hmm.
I don't
I mean
know.
it's
I
fine.
don't think there's
But
time
yeah, like
after. So if we want,
I mean that'll be a good episode after the event of just like we come on here and we can just recap and talk about how the event went. Uh
yeah,
but yeah, I guess 20 episodes. But again, like I'm already forgetting what has happened in like the second episode. And here's the real question.
yeah.
Do we count the non-episodes? I would. I would
Yes,
count the
we count that.
non-episodes.
It's not an official
All
episode, but
right.
we do count all the
So
like
there were two.
versions.
There was the
Yep,
first one and then the our attempt.
there was
So
like
yeah.
the unofficial one and then the first one that failed,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
But now we got our legs up. We know what we're doing, but we don't. We're still just talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say as I forget what we're doing. Yeah. I mean, podcast to talk about big events. The big event that happened last night. You want to talk about that? That's a big topic.
Oh
The
boy.
the big old
Oh boy.
stud of a boxing match last night.
That was
Chat, you
something.
ready for this? That was, oh boy. Jake Paul versus uh uh Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson. 27-year-old in his prime, has been training and is young and youthful, agile, all of this stuff. Jake Paul versus 58-year-old, past his prime, old, bad legs Mike Tyson. And neither of them could
Yeah.
fucking knock each other out. Nothing. They danced around like a couple on their wedding night for what, 20 something minutes? 6 times 2? 12. I know math. 8. It was 8 rounds, or was it 6? Was it 8 rounds? 16 minutes. So about 20 minutes. My
Yeah,
God. I mean, listen,
they did nothing.
I'm not
Yeah,
a boxing fan. I'm not a boxing fan in the slightest because I know what it is 90% of the time. They dance around each other, they barely hit each other, and then one person gets like a single punch, and then the other guy hits the ground and it's over. And that's it. That's boring. That why do I don't get why people watch that. And also, a lot of people saying it's a scripted fight. If I wanted to watch a scripted fight, I would watch wrestling because at least that has a satisfying ending. At least there's
yeah.
an ending to
People
that.
were comparing it to wrestling. Actually,
They shouldn't be.
that's the funny thing.
As someone who loves wrestling, it was not wrestling because they just
Yeah, I know,
danced
but like
around
people
and
were saying,
farted
like
around.
if what they saw is what they would have wanted, then they would have gone to wrestling. That's how they were comparing it.
Yeah,
Like they're agreeing with you.
if you wanted, a young up and comer like taking it down like the old school man, or just the old man knocking the shit out of a younger guy because it's his yard. There's plenty of wrestling matches you can watch like that. But
Yeah,
this was just them farting around in the ring for 20 minutes.
yeah, pretty much. I was so mad to start off the entire event. It was kind of like a fucking joke especially for like Netflix. They fucked up. They dropped the ball hard.
I
It
heard a
was
lot about
basically
that.
unwatchable here in Sweden. I talked with a friend. They were not able to watch it either, and they had been trying for like when it was supposed to start. They couldn't watch any of it. They had to watch restreams, which is what I ended up doing as well in the Discord,
Mhm.
thanks to other people who actually could access it. The fight itself, I know Mike Tyson is old, but like, I'm not gonna say that I was invested in the like fight. I had not really followed like how they were practicing or too much of that. Like, I hadn't followed the entire story arc or what you want to call it. I had watched a few clips of Mike Tyson
Yeah.
training. And Mike Tyson during this training, even after his medical emergency, versus Mike Tyson in that like boxing ring, two completely different people.
He was just
Like the
standing there
clip,
biting his thing for ages. His little
yeah.
gloves.
And the one time he threw a punch that landed on Jake, Jake had to like stumble back and actually recoup. I don't know if it was Owen who linked or who it was, but I think it was Owen who linked a clip that all like one of those punches, and the joke is that was the moment when Mike Tyson realized that if he wants to get paid for this, he has to hold back. But yeah, he threw like no punches at all over the course of like what 4 rounds.
Yeah, he got a couple punches in the first 2 rounds, and then after that, I don't think he landed a single blow. It was just him like,
It's
oh,
he wasn't really
ooh."
trying either.
No, like knowing Mike Tyson, like the fights that he has been in. You look at like his past fights. He is aggressive. He is very. I move
Yeah,
forward. I beat the shit out of you. I am throwing punches a lot.
yeah.
And then this, he
That's
barely did anything.
that was one of the things that commentators were saying. Like, he's super aggressive. That's what he's like. His entire stick. Also,
Yeah.
thank you for the raid, Blue. I hope you had a good stream. Welcome.
Why are there so
And Crown Man,
many
thank you for 6
fronts?
months.
Where do they all come from?
6 months.
He was definitely holding back. Like, I know he's full. I'm not expecting him to throw like he used to. Absolutely not. But having
No.
seen so much of him from like the training, and then seeing those
could still
8
go.
minutes or 16 minutes, sorry, in the ring, completely different people.
Yep.
And like when he was sitting down, he was practically melting, he was sweating. Jake was fucking.
Yeah, I did notice that. That like after the fight, I was looking at Jake and I was looking at Mike, and Jake was fucking caked in sweat, and Mike was just like he was a bit out of breath. But I mean, for a
Yeah,
58-year-old doing that much moving around, it'd be a little bit out of breath.
yeah.
But yeah, he was barely like breaking a sweat. He was barely affected.
Punches thrown was the worst statistic to look at. Yeah,
Yeah, it was low for Mike. And that's not to say though that like the more punches you throw, the better you are. Because that just means a lot of those punches were ineffective or didn't hit.
yeah.
Like you just need
But
one
like,
good punch to fucking boom and they're out.
yeah, it's the fact that like Mike wasn't really then trying. And
Yeah,
like,
no.
dude, I kind of commented on this yesterday as well after the fight that he is like the entire reason why this was quite literally one of the most like hyped up, anticipated like stream events ever on the internet is because of how big of a fucking legend he is. If
Yeah.
it truly was as simple as he's old, he can't do it anymore. If he had just said that, people would have been completely fine. If they had been upfront and said, this is a show match, we're not going all out, people would have still paid for it.
Yeah.
And
They
on top
wouldn't
of
have gotten
that,
their
at least
hopes
then
up.
people wouldn't have been
Why
as
am I
upset
cheaper than your dumb PC?
because they were pushing out and like putting it up to be like the big grand battle
They were
between
expecting something.
the legend and the annoying kid who everyone wanted to see get beat up.
Yeah, it was literally we want Mike Tyson to beat the shit out of this annoying little kid. This
Yeah,
cocky little shit. But he didn't. And people were disappointed because they didn't get what they wanted there. Which, I guess if it was scripted, they were never going to get. If it
yeah,
was planned that like you're not gonna knock him out, if you want to get
yeah,
paid, that it was just a waste of time. And then also, yeah, the Netflix thing, where like this was a massive thing that like a bunch of people were watching, but like 90% of people were getting buffering for a while.
yep.
It's
They were
like
not ready. Not at all.
you are the biggest fucking like streaming company in the world, basically. No, they might not be, but they're still one of the most recognizable, right? And yet
Yeah,
this, and it wasn't even the first time it happened. Like they've had big streaming events happen before that had that same issue.
yeah. So they had an idea of kind of like, yeah, I am so fucking disappointed with it. I barely use Netflix these days. I use it lately just for Arcane. Besides that, Breaking Bad, I guess. I can watch Breaking Bad in other places. And Arcane, I will be able to watch that. I will be able to watch the end of it before my Netflix like runs out. But I have officially canceled it because there's no fucking way I'm gonna pay for it anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it. When I first bought it, I was paying for the base version. But now that I checked, I think there only was like one version when I actually got it. Um, right now I was apparently paying for premium, which I didn't even know. But
Yeah, there's like three
yeah, I
different
canceled that.
versions. Which I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
one with ads, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, like I'm paying for this. I mean, I get
She does laundry, baths, cooking, and
the people yearn for the days of television where like, oh, you can get all of like for cable TV, I should say. They yearn for cable TV because there's so many like subscription services that like, oh, we're gonna bundle with these and these and these, and you can get all these subscription services for one price, for like one $60 price. It's like if I wanted to do that, I would just fucking hook up my satellite dish and get fucking cable TV again. Either way,
Yeah,
The only good thing to come out of the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight is Mike Tyson's ass.
Yeah, no, you're that will be remembered for a long time, a
That is
long ass
going to
time.
be the only thing people remember. They're like, it was a disappointing
Yeah,
fight, and we saw Mike Tyson's ass. That's it.
I saw a post that was like out of context summary of the like Netflix. That thing
Mhm.
was like a picture of 99% buffering and Mike Tyson's ass.
Yep.
It was really
And
bad
I
for my
feel like
yeah, and I was really expecting him because he has been such a like hard ass, and he's like always been known as like a literal tiger. That's what people keep saying or comparing him to, and all that stuff.
he's the
So like
dude
I
who
was really
bit someone's
expecting him to
ear off.
defend his reputation.
Yeah. But I get, I guess he just don't got that dog in him anymore. I don't know. Like, what happened? I don't get it.
Did it? Yeah. How long do you think it'll take for Lolth and Sergeant Darren to make an assless Chaps Tyson movie? I could see Lolth probably making an animation of it right now. He has done animations of big events before when they happen, like that slap.
Mhm.
What's his name?
Will Smith.
Will Smith, when he did a slap. Yeah, he did an animation of that, for example. I could see that
Yeah.
if he
I mean,
feels motivated.
I could just imagine him by like today or tomorrow having an avatar of him boxing gloves, boxing trunks, and he turns around and his ass is out. Like
Yeah,
I can see that already. I'm
probably doing
calling it.
some. Hmm.
Probably dancing. Probably just like, oh, I'm not actually
Yeah,
gonna hit you. I'm
dancing,
just
like
gonna,
hugging.
yeah, do the. Oh, I was like, that. Why are they just hugging them? Fight each other. Punch each other in the face. Bite his ear off. Do something. Smack his ass. I don't care. Just don't dance around for fucking 16 minutes. Wasting my night. I would have hung out
The
and like
dancing, like
had fun. We were just sitting there
I
watching.
would have been fine with them moving around so much if there actually was more fighting or more punches being hit. Like comparing their fight with the fight before for the what was it, the title, Grandmaster title, or between
I
those
didn't see
two.
before. It was like two ladies.
I didn't watch all of it. I don't remember all of it.
I didn't
One of
think they
them
beat
got
the shit
like
out of each other.
headbutted. Yeah, they went fucking at it. That match was Christ. Super weather white weight. Okay, featherweight.
W- Featherweight.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at weight and read weather. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
that
doubt.
I
If you
think
like boxing for what it is, that's a fight to look at because Jesus Christ, they were going at it.
I mean, if you want like to look at it from if it's scripted of like the wrestling way, you have that match directly before it where they beat the shit out of each other. So the people that want to see that, they get like, "Oh, we saw them beat the crap out of each other. So now this next contest, if they don't hit each other as much, oh well, you had that one match before."
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
Tyson was
also the
set
fact
up
that
to loosen the rules for this fight. I actually don't know what the rules were. I've seen some talk about like there being some kind of rules for it, but
I don't know much about it. I'm not a
yeah.
I wasn't looking at rules.
Cedric.
This version of Logan Mayweather fight. I didn't see that. I was not privy to that. I know nothing about like this is the first boxing match I've watched since the Creator Clash. Like the first original Creator Clash was like the only other time I've ever watched boxing. And
The
after this, I
creator
don't
clash
think
went harder.
yeah, they did. Like they like beat the shit out of each other. You look at like Aaron Hansen versus Harley Mornstein. like Epic Mealtime guy. Like they
Yep.
fucking massive men beating the shit out of each other. And they're not even like boxers. They're YouTubers.
Yep.
I just wish, like, if it was real, if that was actually a thing, like this fight, when Jake Paul bowed to Mike Tyson at the end, Mike Tyson should have just fucking uppercutted him and knocked him the fuck out. Because there was still time.
Yeah.
Like, with all the shit
It
that
would
they
have
were
been
talking to
legal.
each other beforehand, like, you would have thought that they would have wanted to hurt each other.
Yep.
But it's just theatrics, you know?
And on top of that, I saw some comments talking about it. Sorry for moving around. I'm still trying to get comfortable, and it's difficult. I need to get a proper share for this. Jesus.
Same.
I saw comments saying that if he wanted to like be respectful and whatnot, if he actually knew anything about like all that, you would apparently touch gloves. Like that is
Yeah,
apparently how
that's
you
what.
show respect in boxing.
Yeah, you saw at the end, Mike Tyson like reached out his glove for like a glove tap, which is like showing respect. Whereas Jake just bowed. Like
Yeah.
he didn't do the glove touch, which is
And he
that's showing
says
respect.
he's the face of boxing or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's just him. That's just him being egotistical because it creates heat, which creates attention, which creates social media buzz, which makes him bigger. It's purposeful. He does it on purpose. He riles people up.
Yeah.
Then it's
And
even some of the bad WWE matches are like entertainingly bad. This was just boring. Is the best way to describe it. It's just a boring match.
yeah.
And now with Netflix, you know, them being shit, a lot of people are gonna unsubscribe. But I know that they're also getting a bunch of stuff coming up soon, so they're probably not too worried about people leaving. I I don't think the Netflix stocks are gonna really be affected too much because, you know, what
Yeah, I'm
else are
not
you gonna
expecting.
do?
If the stock is affected, it will like bounce back most likely. I'm not expecting like any time that social media flips out or freaks out about something, stocks usually did move, but it like more often than not just goes back to
Very
normal.
briefly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's moving. Oh, a little bit of a dip, and then that's it. But other
I'm
than
sure
that,
Owen can give more insight.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm
that I
not
mean that's how
expecting
like
any like permanent damage, so to speak.
Niji Sanji's still a thing after like all the shit that they've been through with the past year or so.
Actually, they are
Are they
actually
affected?
doing really bad. In fact,
Oh,
Hololive has gone up and overtaken them in market cap value, if I remember correctly.
oh,
So
I know
Hololive
nothing
is
about that.
actually like bigger
Sounds good.
value wise.
Yeah, that I mean, more power to them. I mean, the strides
Yeah,
that they've been making. I mean, you look at like the fucking they had VTubers at a baseball game, and then that
yeah,
baseball team won. Dodgers, let's go. So clearly they're doing something right.
yep.
Ugh. I mean, you
Most
want
fights
you,
nowadays are boring anyways. Leans too much on point hitting than phone brawls. Yeah. I haven't really seen any of Merriweather, or I don't know what his name is. He's like another one of those like big names in boxing. I think he retired as well.
oh,
Um,
George Foreman,
I don't remember what the fuck his name is, but
Muhammad Ali.
he fought Logan Paul, I think, and that was
Oh,
also
yeah,
it
that's
was kind of like the
Mayweather,
same Mayweather. Okay,
Floyd Money
yeah,
Mayweather.
yeah, that was kind of like the same thing that happened there as with Mike Tyson. So I don't know.
I didn't even know
I
Jake
guess
was a
that's what
or
happens
Logan
when
was a
sports
boxer.
get too technical. People focus on like the points, I
I mean,
guess, or like
people want to be
the
entertained.
technicalities. But that wasn't entertaining. That was disappointing,
Exactly.
if anything. That
And that's
was,
why people were
if
annoyed.
anything, yeah, if anything, I would argue the entire fight, everything of that was literally built around social media buzz. Because if that was the goal, God knows they succeeded. Jesus Christ. The
I-
entire fucking internet were talking about them. For like, they were angry, but they were talking about them.
like
And
here,
for
if they
content
were
creators,
what?
for influencers, the worst thing that can happen to you is that nobody talks about you. People being angry and upset is better than nobody talking about you. That's why people were saying KSI's song, everyone thought it was fucking bad. Everyone was hating on it. But people are still talking about it.
Yeah.
It's social media buzz.
What I don't understand about it though is that yeah, they got a lot of buzz for the fight being boring, nothing happening, whatever. But could you imagine the amount of buzz that they would have got had either one knocked the other one out? Like that would have been fucking everywhere of just, either Mike hitting the ground or Jake hitting the ground. That would have been
Yeah?
fucking exponentially fucking talked about.
I don't know what, like, what. I want to believe that, you know, Mike Tyson wants to protect his reputation. And
Yeah.
for that, like, I don't think for a second that if there was a real fight, even though he's 58, I don't think that Jake Paul stands a chance at knocking him out. I really don't think so. Not based off of
This is
that
Hoshi's inner thoughts.
workout or
Those are some
training
nice
videos that I've
boobies.
seen or clips of that I've seen of him. He said he doesn't care in another interview. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Because I
remember that he
did
talked
say
about
this
like
before we
legacy.
started as well. Yeah, I did say this before we started. That I don't think that Mike Tyson is on the internet. I don't think he reads anything. So anything that the entire internet is streaming right now, he's probably not gonna hear. He might hear it if someone else tells him about it, but at that point, he probably doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna
Whether,
continue to
like,
live in with his millions and millions of dollars, unaffected.
yeah, whether he actually did sell out and, you know, do a scripted fight or whatever you want to call it, like, he has still proven his worth. He has still done what he has done. His history isn't erased. He's still Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
Sure, his reputation
and
might have taken a hit because less respect, but he is still Mike Tyson.
here's the way that I look at it. Like, yeah, like him being a 58-year-old man and losing a boxing match, like getting knocked out or whatever, or however, if he loses, or yeah, he's a 58-year-old man. Nobody is gonna take umbrage with that. They're like, yeah, you're old. That doesn't take away from the many fucking years where you were the best boxer on the planet.
Yeah?
He's 58. I watched a mogul mail about this actually, just before.
I haven't watched it. I was waiting for it. He commented like Ludwig said on Twitter that he actually made a first mobile mail in like 10 months because of the fight.
Yeah,
So I was waiting
yeah,
for it to
he
like go up, but I went to bed before.
missed it. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Apparently, Texas is the only place where they even could do that fight because literally every other state in the country, they can't have more than a 10-year age difference between the two fighters.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that and he just kind of bitched about Netflix for a while because everybody was having issues, and I think he also is
Yeah,
done with Netflix, similarly to you.
yeah. I do think that if enough people cancel their Netflix, that will eventually affect the stock. And I could see that actually being a thing because, my God, it was bad.
Eventually, yeah, but from something like this, I don't think so.
Okay. I could see people because there are 3 different tiers that you can pay for. If people paid for premium, I could see people downgrading, thinking, I'm paying for premium and I couldn't even watch that. It's not worth it. I might at least downgrade. I could see. I
Maybe.
think a lot of people will at least do that
I don't
or like reconsider it.
I don't know. I feel like most people are either all or nothing. I don't think people are gonna downgrade, because downgrading your account, I feel like, is more work than just canceling the subscription. You would just be like, I don't like this. I'm not gonna downgrade because then I'm still supporting them. If I don't like this, I'm just gonna get rid of it.
They will fix it in future. This is like, I think, the 3rd event now that are relatively big. This is definitely the biggest one, but it's like, this is not the first time they've had these issues. They have been able to fix these for over a year. So I when you say they will fix it in the future, I don't believe that for a second. I will believe it when I see it. You might be right, but until I actually see it, nah.
I don't even have Netflix. But that's the thing. Like, if I get it, it's gonna be because soon the WWE is coming to it, which is gonna cause like a small, but like still kind of noticeable gain in viewership, which is why I'm like, this isn't gonna affect it. This isn't gonna,
Yeah.
happen. What are you laughing at?
No, Owen's comment. Sorry, let me clarify. That's what they tell the shareholders. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Sure. Whatever you say, buddy. Your little stock friends, your little stock buddies.
Those asleep volunteers.
But yeah, I don't know. That whole thing, Netflix, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. That's gonna be the big meme of November that's remembered, and that's about it.
Yeah. Ugh.
Anything
Yeah,
else
all in all,
on that, or
disappointed.
yeah,
That fight
disappointing.
that was not a fight. It was a
2
show.
thumb down.
Sorry. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
If my tracking, finger tracking, there we go.
And then we do that, and look, it's a fucked up heart.
Oh. Oh.
Boo! We hate you.
Oh.
Boo! Boo! Kill each other next time.
They show
Anyway,
turrets a Royal Rumble.
dude, just Logan Paul coming down the ramp.
Would it be better to sing in a different category, like just chatting?
You talked about that last time, didn't we?
I think we did.
Yeah, I don't remember what the thing, like, you tried it or something. I don't remember. There's like a
No, we
podcast
haven't tried it.
section, isn't there? Like a literal
I think
podcast
there's.
thing, group, whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah. For now, I think it's better to just keep it here because we kind of have an idea of what it is, but
We would need to be more professional to go into like a category for podcasts.
yeah. I can't believe. Wait, what?
They hate.
What do you
Why do
mean,
we
Ken?
hate?
Huh?
I mean, I hate Ken, but for separate reasons. He's trying to steal my spot. And yeah, the Lunchley stuff is Logan Paul. That's not Jake. We
God damn
hate
it.
you.
We don't
Boo,
hate you, Ken. We love you.
I dislike the writing of your character, but think otherwise you do a good job. What?
Damn. feel like this whole
Get
thing
it?
was a failed publicity stunt to pull people's attention away from Lunchley and the drama there. No, it was definitely not like publicity stunt. Sure, maybe to pull people's attention away from Lunchley. No, they're completely separate things.
Yeah.
I think it's just
Both
publicity,
assholes.
or not publicity, like an event. They just want
Yes,
to
it was
create social media buzz.
publicity. It's to
Yeah,
like get their
publicity.
name out there.
Yeah,
And that's it. And it worked because people are talking about him.
and not them mixed up. They're both idiots, though. Yes.
I swear. Who the hell is this Kim everyone keeps asking about?
Basha is such a bottom, even when a bottom is talking to
You see
him
how I'm treated?
LOL.
You see how people treat me? This is your fault, by the way. Let it
It
be
is
known
my
this is
fault.
your fault.
Yes.
The
No,
reason
yes. I take
the reason
responsibility. It
people
is
call
my
me
fault.
a bottom is because you attacked me for years.
Yep. You're welcome.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. 5, 6, 7, 8. I use this hand to masturbate. Anyway, what was
Some
what you want to talk about? Oh, what? Oh, she's not. God damn it. God damn it. That's gonna be turned into a short. God fucking. Out of all the things we talked about,
the fuck does that have to do with Mike Tyson or Jake Paul?
I don't. It could just be at the end, like we talk about. Oh man, that was a shit fight. Anyway, thumb war.
Okay. Reroll. We just need to like do the transition thing, and then we can cut to. Okay. Anyways,
Mike.
yeah, that was a
Yeah.
shit fight. Mike Tyson
Mike.
versus Jake Paul, complete joke.
Yeah. Mike Tyson. Bad fight with Jake Paul. Anyway.
Yeah.
I masturbate with this hand. That was like the point of it, right?
But then ship it. There we go. Perfect. I would have fist bulging the ring. Everyone knows that I like getting beat up by women, and I don't.
I could beat the shit out of you, Ken. Excuse, I could fucking Hurricane Rana you across the fucking ring mat. Don't tempt me. You're smaller than me. I can fucking overhead press you. Bitch. This guy.
I
He's
don't
got it
know,
out for me.
Chromia. I don't know. Miss
What did she
Trialberg,
say?
you mean he's not no, she's just saying, huh? So let me tell what you do. No, I've already explained pizza in Sweden to Chromia. She should be somewhat aware of it at least.
Yeah, and that's why. Like I explained this. She's aware of it already. That's why she doesn't sleep with you. It's because you fuck up pizzas in your country. Put everything but the kitchen sink on there.
Before that here in Sweden, we basically put anything and everything on pizza. Like pineapple pizza, that's the least of any like pizza related issues when you go here. Like if you want a specific thing on pizza, you could probably literally take it with you to a pizza place and ask them to put it on. If they don't already have it. Banana curry pizza is good. Yes, banana curry pizza is such a like.
That sounds fucked up.
It's such a Swedish thing. Like it's weird, but it's such a Swedish thing. whatever you want.
Oh shit! Oh, I hit the button. I guess Chromie doesn't care. What a bad
Like a
Italian.
pizza on our pizza. Overhead press. What? This match
I
is a
said I was.
butt. What the?
I said I was gonna overhead press him, but apparently that isn't
Oh.
as good as the mating press that he gets. So
Oh.
I'm not going to mating press him. I'll leave that for his
Gotcha.
wife.
Why is the fire alarm going off?
But then don't be sad if people question your mental stability. I mean, people already do that, but for different reasons. That's not gonna leave that's nothing new.
Yeah, that's you. That's
Peanut
just
butter
your
on
existence.
pizza. Yeah. Also, peanut butter on pizza. I don't think we have that, but we do have peanuts.
You ever put pudding
Like
on
you can get
pizza?
peanuts on pizza. Saying?
You ever have
What did I
chocolate
lean
pudding on
in?
pizza? What?
Chocolate
What?
pudding? No. I have not had chocolate pudding. I was leaning in as if I didn't hear what you
Yeah,
said, so I was trying to lean in.
that just
What the
hit me.
fuck?
What the fuck did you lean in? We're in a VC. That's not gonna.
I don't know. I don't know, okay? I'm so fucking normalized and used to being in VR and just VR in general that it's like I tried leaning against walls before, okay? This is not the weirdest thing. Shut up.
What was that? What are you saying? Sorry, I can't hear.
Shut
What?
the fuck up.
What? What? What?
Shut the fuck up. I'm immersed, okay? Fight.
Yeah,
No, don't fight me. You'll
that's
lose.
pretty good. I could beat your ass. Excuse me. In a boxing match.
No, you probably would actually. Like, genuinely, like in real life, if we boxed, you would beat me. No questions
Oh,
asked.
If,
I'm skinny.
okay,
I have no muscle.
yeah, but you're also like healthy. Healthier.
I don't know about that.
Could take
MMA
7
should.
Toluses.
Yeah, okay. If we allow kicking, you don't stand a fucking chance.
In a fight, right, Ken? In a fight, right?
I could take 7 Talus. What did he mean by that?
In a fight, right?
This went off the rail real fucking fast. What were we talking about? What's the next topic? Do we have a?
I mean, you could. Do you want to talk about your other topic or my topic or
Yes.
or what? What?
We can talk about that if you're good with it.
What? Yours?
It's kind of
or
like
mine.
The topic I had.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I'll listen and see what I know and can input.
Okay. Basically, so it's kind of like I've talked about this quite a bit. So I've been buying a lot of Pokemon recently. Pokemon cards, like a lot, unhealthy amount. I have spent
No.
more money on brand new like Pokemon card stuff to open up than I have in my entire life combined leading up to like the past 2 months probably.
Yeah.
Which it sounds really bad, but growing up, I practically did not buy any cards. I practically did not get any cards. Because I grew up not rough, but I didn't have like I didn't get a lot of money for like allowance. So I didn't get a lot. But it's still kind of funny to say.
Lower middle class.
But yes, I had spent a lot of money. The topic in question kind of came from that because I hadn't ordered a lot of Pokemon cards from like online outside of Sweden. I buy most
That
of
wood chipper
my
is
stuff
gonna
from
have to
like
work overtime.
Swedish prices or like in Sweden. So I pay in Swedish like crowns, and the conversion between 1 USD to like Swedish crowns is roughly 1 to 10. Like 1 USD equals 10 Swedish crowns. That's a
Mhm.
good general thumb. It's not exactly what it is currently, but just keep that for now because it makes it easier to explain.
Yeah.
And something that I kind of realized is just it's a psychological thing that as someone who uses a different currency from USD, when I purchase something for 60 or 50 USD, that is easier mentally. Like, I don't really think about it as much. Whereas if I buy something for 600 crowns or 500 crowns, I'm like, what the fuck? That's so expensive. Even though it's the same amount, it's just different currencies, but it's the same value. And that made me think, like, yeah, it's very odd.
Is that not just because number bigger?
Yes, I do think
Is that
that's the
like
case.
that's is I feel like that's just
I
all
do
that it
think it's
is
like
that
that simple as, yeah,
yeah, that like because
it's the
if you
same
were
for
to
Russian
be
rubles.
like what's the I don't know what would the opposite be? Like if you're spending like if you're buying something that's more in another currency so that like that currency is more than yours, you would feel better using your numbers as opposed to their numbers. Because it just looks better. It feels like you're spending less.
Yeah,
I mean that is that like that's the psychology of like, oh, this is $5.99 because that's this is $99.99 because it doesn't feel as much as $100, even though it's a penny off.
yeah.
Because your brain is just like smaller number, cheaper. I feel less bad.
So it's easier
Yeah,
to spend dollars than your own. Huh.
what Ken is also saying of like, yeah, yen
Yeah,
is like 100 yen for like $1 about or something like that. I don't know if it's the same. That's the way I always knew it. So like paying $10 feels a lot better than paying like what 1,000 yen, 100 yen. I don't know math as is
yeah.
evidence. But yeah, like I would prefer to use the smaller number.
Uh, Yeah,
Oh, is
USD
you
versus
would
Euro.
you would know more about like the what Owen's saying of USD is perceived as a better currency. I mean, I
Yeah, I was
perceive it
kind of gonna
'cause I'm
touch on that.
American,
Like
but
buying something for Euro and USD, like Euro is slightly more than USD. Like 1 USD or 1 euro equals like 1 point something USD. So personally, if I'm purchasing something, I prefer buying it for USD because it feels cheaper. Like
hmm,
it feels like better value. Whereas if I buy something for euro, I assume it's gonna be expensive. If you think of both assets being in yen, you're going to be paying way less. So it's always easier to buy in yen if you're outside Japan. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, kind of. Cause
I
yeah,
guess that makes sense.
yeah.
What?
Well, when I look at booth assets, I kind of feel like that because yeah, I know it's gonna be cheaper,
Yeah, because I'm
so
like,
it's
oh, this is
easier
a
to
hundred
spend.
yen, but it's really like $1 or whatever.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, I don't know. It's there's psychology there. There's money psychology. Many book is a very
and yes.
very
Oh, and I
complicated
fully
topic.
believe it's a very complicated
I
topic.
don't
Absolutely.
I don't think it's very complicated. I just think bigger number people are afraid. People don't like bigger number. They want smaller number, and it's as simple as that.
I
There's
would
no other
summarize it as that.
psychology.
I do think that there are a lot of other factors to it, but in general, I think it's fair to summarize it as that to people who aren't like in the financial industry. I don't
Yeah,
think you
I mean,
have
like,
to go super like in depth because yeah, you could probably point at a bunch of different variables and factors.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was
Money
just kind of something I was thinking about recently quite a bit because it's been like
because you've been spending a lot of American money.
very relevant. Yeah.
Is that something you want to talk
Yeah.
about? I don't know if that is something you want to like your Pokemon card addiction, other than it's an addiction.
I don't know what would there be to like say.
I mean, yeah. I don't I well, because here's the way, like, you said that you were gonna get your last packs, like, the ones that you had ordered already were your last packs, and then earlier today, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I bought another pack." And I'm like, "But I thought you said you were done.
Yep.
What happened?"
Yeah. I I I have been like I said, I have been ordering and buying a lot of Pokemon cards recently. So I did order some packs and boxes earlier, like in the week. Um, kind of has been waiting on those, and I did tell Boshi and a bunch of other that yeah, okay, I'm not gonna be ordering anymore because get a lot of stuff. But then yeah, I did order more today, and then someone else opened Crown Zenith, and I did order some of those as well. So there's two orders
Mhm.
now, not just
Oh, it's
one.
gonna be 2 orders today. I didn't know about that second
Yep.
one.
Yep.
You do we does somebody need to, like, hold on to your credit card for you? That way you don't spend? You need to give it to, like, a trusted friend of, like, "Here, I need you to hold on to this, and don't let me buy Pokemon cards no matter what I say." They're like, "Okay," and then you give it to and you're like, "Please, please, I need it. Just one more pack. Just one more booster box. I beg you. I beg please, this will be the last one."
No, it's I kind of mentioned yesterday. Okay, this kind of goes back about the topic of like I don't like talking about my problems and stuff. When I say that this recent Pokemon addiction thing is me coping, I'm not kidding when I say that. It has been my form of coping because it's a cheap it's a cheap way or simple way, I guess is a better way to put it. It's an easy way for a dopamine kick. And
Mhm.
that's something that I've really needed, especially the past 2 months. So I'm really not kidding when I say it has been a coping mechanism, and it has
Yeah.
actually helped.
That's why, like, I'm conscious to not be too hard on you about it. Like, I'll bring it up every once in a while of, like, "Oh, I addicted to those Pokemon cards," but I'm not gonna, like, harp you on it because I do know that like you're going through something like a situation and this is helping you, so I'm not going to tell you don't do this thing that's helping you get through, but I am still concerned for your bank account and like you as a person of being addicted to this thing and like God
Yeah,
damn it, this chair is not comfortable. um but yeah, so like I'm concerned for you, but I'm not going to harp you on it too much about it because everyone's got their problems. You need to at least like you need to be showing them off on stream the cards that you get. That way you can at least write them off on your taxes.
yeah.
Like
I
have
okay.
like a
I
little
did.
segment where you show off your pulls for the week or whatever.
Yeah, I did say that. Like, I would love to be able to start doing unboxing and show things off like that on stream. I would love that, and I hope to be able to do that in the future.
I I mean I hope that whatever's happening doesn't go on so long that you need to be able to do this stuff in the future as a coping mechanism.
Like, well, it wouldn't be that much, but no, Anna. I mean, when I say that if I did it on stream, it would be very different. because then there's an incentive. Because part of the reason why I want to do it is partially because it's something I enjoy. I love Pokemon cards. I have been collecting since I was young. It's an interest. It's a look into my life, I guess you could say. And number two, I know for a fact people enjoy looking at openings. People enjoy being part of it.
I'm well
And it
aware.
is kind of like it's easy, simple content. It's a new thing for the channel as well. There's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
multiple factors to it.
having like a little, Totless Tuesday TCG where you just open up,
Yeah,
Pokemon cards on a Tuesday or whatever, have its own little segment, channel, whatever, where we're opening up Pokemon cards, we're making little jokes, we're just hanging out.
yeah.
Yeah, that could be something.
Opening Pokemon
I
cards
think
during college
it's
stream. Yeah,
yeah. If
literally.
you do little coffee streams, you open up a pack or two or three or a booster box. Just one more.
No, again, like doing it for stream, that gives me a much different incentive to actually like save packs to open on stream. Like
Mm.
collect like keep an eye out if I see a cheap like rare pack. That if I get enough of those type of packs, make for an interesting video. There's a different incentive for stuff like that if it's part of the content, because right now there's not really any incentive. Like right now I just want to open them. But if it was content, I want to see chat's reaction. I want them to be there for it.
That would be a good way to look at. Something else that I'd also be interested in. Like right now, it's just a hobby. But if you bring that hobby into your work, will you enjoy it as much? Like, will it change how you view it and everything? Because then suddenly it goes from this is just something I'm doing for fun on my own to this is something I need to now wait for a certain time, wait for a certain day, make sure that I have something for each time. Is this going to be entertaining? Are people enjoying this? There's so many more factors
It's
added to it.
it probably depends like on what type of like how I incorporate it, how like I think there's a lot of factors to it that could affect how I feel about it or how if I would change because of how I do it. Um,
I mean,
if I make it like
Wubby and like how
yeah,
he does stuff. Because I think taking that kind of format and altering it to be your own, where like he has a day of the week where he does stuff and it's for that audience. He opens cards, he does giveaways, he opens up new boxes that come out. He just has fun. It's its own little thing. It's sectionated off, but it's still there.
yeah,
The gamer sub stuff is for
yeah.
another week.
26th, 6th.
The 26th is
How
the
the fuck do
last
you
day.
pronounce that? Sick,
26th. 6th. Remember my S
sick.
issue from earlier? 6th.
Yeah. Currently that's what's stated. I just realized there
Thanks.
wasn't one, so um currently it lasts until the 26th, but it could change depending on both how it goes, but also if there's like anything special happening or anything like that, because I did talk with them. So unless anything else is stated, that's the date.
Now, is that like, unless it changed for more days or less days?
More days. It
More
would
days.
not be
Okay.
shorter.
So it would not be shorter. That's good. Actually, the 26th.
And yes, there is uh
Fuck,
I'll
it's
just
still
post it.
2 days short.
That that code gives free shipping. It does mean that it doesn't support any creator, but I do know that outside of USA, shipping is atrocious. So,
Yeah, if you're in the US, you know, pick a content creator you like, the Todd, Chris,
most of the
Radiant,
time,
whatever.
if you purchase like within US, you will save more money with the 10% code rather than that one because of
Yeah,
shipping being cheaper.
but yeah, for other people, if it's expensive, because I know money is a big thing, check it out, see if that code helps you. Maybe it lessens the load on your bank account. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think I hope it's been going well. I hope this GamerSupps drop has been going well for you. I'd like to think so.
I think it has been going well. Um, I only really have like last year's number to compare against, and like I think it's doing good compared to that.
That's
I haven't
at
heard
least
anything from my
it's not doing worse
partner.
than last time, which is good,
Yeah, no,
right?
I don't think it's doing
Yeah,
worse.
good.
Did you check? Yes, but like because there's so many more items right now, I don't know where they stand or like what
Hmm.
the expected sales of those items are. Like I only have the shirts and the cups to kind of like compare against. That's
Yeah,
all I
but you
had to
don't know
go on.
how like the desk mat is doing comparative to other desk mats because you've never done a desk mat before.
Yeah, and I don't know what the sales are for other creators like desk mats stuff like that.
Actually, something I wanted to, because people have told it to me, but I've never talked like one on one with anyone. What is this Shy Lily cupathon gamer subs thing? What is this? Is it happening yet? Is it a
Basically,
thing?
yes, it's happening. It
Okay.
started yesterday. Um, they basically took subathon, but changed it from gifting subs because, in their own words, gifting a sub to other community members, all all they get is a subscription for 1 month, nothing more.
Hmm.
So it's not really it's a digital thing. They still stream, except they're streaming longer. But aside from like I guess ad free experience, they don't really get anything. Um, whereas with the cupathon, the idea is that they can gift merch and then they get something actually tangible, like an actual physical thing that they can keep like hold on to and
See,
stuff like that. That's like mindset. And I do remember them saying that they did not want flavors to be able to be gifted. Like that was a specific like thing. It was specifically targeted at merch.
okay.
And also because not only does the viewers actually get something, because you can choose either gift something to a random viewer or gift something to a specific viewer. On top of that, it also
Ye-
obviously contributes or like helps out the creator. It boosts the numbers, which from my own experience, it does allow more things such as, this merch drop, stuff like that.
See, here's my confusion. Like when you say like gifting merch to people, how does that work? Like how do you gift merch to someone? Like is that through Twitch? Is that through the website? How do you because gifting merch to someone requires someone knowing your location to send you that merch.
No.
So like how does no.
Um I don't know like specific delivery of um I guess we can call it access. I don't know if it's a code or a link, but I do think there is some kind of authentication where you have to like kind of
Except
I don't know if it's linking your Twitch account, but some kind of permission, and they will like send maybe a code, maybe a link, but you will fill in all the details yourself.
okay. So
It's
like
nothing like automated.
basically like it'd be going I guess is it through Twitch or is it through GamerSupps? Like where would you go to GamerSupps to buy the merch and then it gives you the option to gift it to someone? Or like how like that's stuff that I don't know. and
I
I'm like
don't really know,
confused about.
honestly. Yeah, I have no clue. I haven't watched any of the actual Cupathon because when I did watch, it wasn't working. They got it working later on. So I don't actually know how it properly functions. So I can't answer that.
Because it sounds interesting, like being able to gift somebody merch, like that sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then it also helps you because if it's specifically merch stuff,
Yeah.
guess who's got merch coming out that's on the front page of Gamer Subs right now? Gonna
Personally,
be one of the
I think
people.
it's a great idea because my entire issue with like subathons is specifically that. It's the fact that I don't feel like subs you get anything in return. Because yeah, the streamer still streams. It doesn't really change that. So a cupathon, at least then I'm still not like hyper enthusiastic about it. But I do think between a normal subathon and a cupathon, as they call it, I do think cupathon is way, way better.
Hmm. Is that something you could do? I mean, I don't know if
It
you
will be
would do
available
it.
to everyone.
Okay. Because like I don't know how that would work for your community. Because I feel like most people have like started buying their merch or are saving up for their merch for themselves. But if they got,
Yeah,
other
I
stuff
probably
they wanna
wouldn't do
gift
it.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds interesting. Like, if you're in other chats, if you're in Shy Lilies or whatever, they're doing the cupathon stuff, so support this purple dork. That way she can get a flavor, finally.
It would be
That
so
that
cool to
Gamer
have a
Subs.
flavor. I really,
Yeah.
really do hope that we get one. Will it work by using your code or only when you get merch from you? I don't know that. I did specifically ask if the cupathon is limited explicitly to only Shy Lily merch or if it will be available that you can give any merch item or physical product in the
Oh,
store because that would
I
make
just assumed it
sense.
was all the
It would make
merch.
sense if yeah, I assume that as well because I feel like that's better because the support I assume it's going to be linked to Shiloh's code. Like even if someone gifts, say, part of my merch to someone else, that would still be, I assume, used on her code.
Mm.
Or it looks like traders can set up their own cup of funds with giveaways and stuff. I have not checked that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I need water.
Yeah, you are all over the place today.
Yeah, I think it's because I have the tracker on the other side today. When
Ah, I mean, we are
if
on
we take a
opposite
break or
sides from
something,
recently.
that might be throwing me off.
Well, to be fair, we don't
I I'm I
to
am
admit it,
very
we don't
big
have
into
like
habits.
s-
So
trust me, I was looking at like I have all the episodes in YouTube in like a little playlist for people to look at on my channel. Uh
feel free to
I've
post a
been on
link
that side
then.
more than uh, uh fuck. I mean, I've been on that side more.
There
It,
was
it,
no
it
microwave branded what?
Yeah, I don't know. My brain just kind of shut off there. We switched sides.
Yeah.
You're also very inconsistent with whether the title is caps or not all caps. Like today it's all caps, but on the episode with Ken, it wasn't all caps. Where you'd think you'd be more excited to like show that off.
Damn. I don't know. In general, I don't really think much about the Twitch titles.
You gotta have like good Twitch. I
No,
know that there's like
you
a
really don't.
what
The
if
only use case of a Twitch title is keywords. The
I
title
mean
itself doesn't matter.
I guess I don't know. Like the way that I look at it is that
Once again. Good night, Miami. Good night.
good night. Um, it's an awful city. I've been there once. I think maybe I don't know. No, I've been to Tampa. I haven't been to Miami. Um, uh, the way that I look at it, at least for me, and maybe it's more of a YouTube thing, but I think I named one of my streams "This Guy Has to Be Stopped" because it's funny. And then when it got uploaded to the VOD channel, it got significantly more views than other VODs. And I don't know if that's because the name is very like catchy. Yeah, this dude
Yes.
has to be stopped.
Yeah, no, that
And
is definitely the case. YouTube, it's way different.
okay. Well, I mean, this is going on to YouTube. Like this will be on
Well,
your
yeah,
VOD channel. And people can find the VOD channel and then through the VOD channel find your Twitch channel. That's the point of the VOD channel for me, at least. Is that it's a way that,
no,
you know,
yeah.
people stumble upon it.
I just don't think of the VODs as like videos. That's probably why.
They're called they're VODs. They're literally video on demand. It's in the name.
I know. I understand it. I know exactly what you mean, and I do agree. Yes, Twitch title equals YouTube title. So yes, it is important by that fact. I just haven't thought about it until now.
Well, you
That's the
should think
truth.
about YouTube more, and the chat should think about YouTube more because there's a new video out yesterday. Be sure to watch it. It's pretty good. We surprised
See,
Tot with the Tot avatars, the Tot DMCA. I feel like the video is doing very well.
and it's doing really, really well. Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
doing
like I mean,
great. It's doing
it's been a
really good.
day and it's already at like the number that it's at.
Yeah.
Like that's good. Watch the video, like it, subscribe, share it with your friends. Get this cat to 100,000 YouTube subscribers so she can get
We're
the play
actually on
button.
track to maybe being able to do it if we can keep it up. The
Yes.
pressure now is the next video. I need great content for the next video.
All right. I'll be sure to
That's
join
the
you more.
pressure now. Well, it's not only that. I have a metric fuck ton of shit that I need to do on top of that, so I can't stream that much.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you gotta have a day where just you do a bunch of stuff. So you can have that one day where you do everything. And then Kuzan can just take all of that stuff and put it into a video. Just jump to different worlds, change outfits a bunch, so it seems like it's a bunch of different streams, but it's all really the one stream. That's the smart stuff. You gotta think about it. Trick
Yeah.
the YouTube
I
chat.
kind of need to do like I actually need to plan ahead if I want to like. Yeah. No, yeah. Also, I have. Yeah,
There is delegation. Well,
there is delegation, and I
there's
have tried
delegation happening.
this. There's a lot.
There's a lot happening. There's a lot behind the scenes. So be prepared for the Christmas
Let's
stuff in
let's
half a month.
if there's one thing I can say that doesn't directly spoil anything, but
Mhm.
still kind of gives some idea of things. For everyone who were at the movie night last Thursday, 2 days ago, we watched a very recent movie called Saturday Night. I don't know if you were there watching
No.
it.
I was not.
Highly recommend that, by the way. You should definitely watch it. That
Ye-
video, that movie, not video, that movie
ye-
was recommended by CS. Yeah, there he is. Because I cannot stress it enough in telling you and kind of like explaining to you. just how fucking relevant that movie is. And it I am offended by that fact.
Oh, I think I've heard about it. That's like it's the making of like the first Saturday Night Live episode or something.
Yep.
I should watch that. It does sound
And
interesting.
my god, it's relevant. You It really
I don't
was a
know.
personal attack, and yeah,
I don't know where, but yeah, I'm sure I'll find
I can
somewhere
maybe
to
stream
watch
it
it.
again. Because it's a good movie in general as well.
Yeah, judging by what people are talking about and how they're comparing it to the internal stuff happening, I can imagine how it goes.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the
Can't
event,
help but
to
hosting
the
Christmas
finale.
movies. Um, I'm not planning to host any Christmas movies until December. The movies are different.
Christmas stuff, Christmas movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna host Die Hard. That's a Christmas
Well, yeah.
movie.
Whether it is or isn't, it has become a staple of watching it in that time.
I mean, I think it's just a pretty good movie. I don't really. It takes place during
Yeah, it's a
Christmas,
good
but
movie, and it's
yeah.
just kind of been associated with Christmas because of the whole debate of whether it is or isn't. Which I don't care what you think. It's a good movie. Just watch it.
Here's my. You've seen like the Harry Potter movies, right? Would you say more specifically, like some of the earlier ones? Would you say that those are Christmas movies or Halloween movies? Like, which would they lie more towards?
I would say neither.
Because a lot of people watch them during like Christmas time or during Halloween because they're like, oh, there's spooky Dementors, but then there's also like the whole thing where they go to like the Christmas ball or the Harry opens up presents and gets the cloak of invisibility. So they're
Yeah.
like
No,
good
I
Christmas story elements.
well, yeah. Each movie represents one like year in school. Like each year in school.
Not each
That
movie.
that is literally what it is. So it takes place over the course of a full year. Yes. Um, I do think that I do think a lot of people considers it like kind of like Die Hard, not because of the debate, but just it's a very very influential movie. It's kind of like a classic, and because of that, people generally watch things that are classics, things people like grew up with. Like me and Chris, we watched Full Tripa, that Norwegian movie.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
a Christmas movie, has nothing to do with Christmas. But because we grew up with it, it's a tradition, therefore we watch it.
I guess. Yeah.
Halloween part though, that one I can't really argue for.
What do you mean?
I can see why people consider it like part of Christmas, but I cannot see why people would consider it part of Halloween basically.
I mean, you do like like the first one was that the troll in the dungeon. That's all scary, like, right? Troll in the
Well, yeah,
dungeon. Like it's spooky. There's parts where there's like pumpkin, like jack o' lanterns floating instead of candles in the big mess hall.
I know, but I don't know, a Halloween movie for me is more than just being a little bit like it's more about the overall theme rather than like I don't know, like I never celebrated Halloween either, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask. Like Halloween has
I
never been a
mean,
big thing in Sweden.
yeah. I mean, I'm not much of a Halloween person myself. I've made it known of like there are things that just kind of confuse me. Like what Halloween songs. There's not really spooky culture. I feel like is relatively new. People are really getting into Halloween, and
Yeah.
I'm like, eh. Like scary movies. Is that Halloween? I don't like horror, so like I'm not really gonna be into that. Yeah, you've kind of been drifting over there.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, no, I do agree that Halloween movies are definitely like more of a reason thing, I guess.
Yeah, just overall. Whereas
Halloween
Christmas has
culture.
been a thing for hundreds of years, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't think it's only ABC that does Harry Potter marathon either. I know for a fact they do it here in Sweden on Swedish television around this time as well.
Do they dub it in Swedish or do they just leave it American or English?
They I think the first movie might have a dubbed version, but I don't think the others do. Also, welcome Korat.
Yeah, because that's something. I feel like there's a lot of European countries that English isn't their first language, but yet they still have English media on TV. Like you
Yeah,
wouldn't. There's not many places you would go in America where they're showing TV. The only other language they would have it in would be Spanish. Other than that, like you're not gonna find like a German television station or like a fucking Icelandic television station,
yeah.
which I find interesting.
Ugh. Yeah, no, that an interesting point. Here in Sweden,
Anyway,
especially, I do think that because here in Sweden, Christmas is very big. Like it is a very very celebrated. It's very big, like a very big part of our culture and just social norms, I guess you could call it.
do you think that's
So
because you're so close to the North Pole?
I don't think it has
You
anything
know,
with that in particular, but I do think Scandinavia in general, just because I think it largely because of how big winter in general tends to be here. Like
I
we
mean,
we
that's most of
do
your
experience,
year
yeah,
is winter.
especially the further north you get.
Yeah, and
Like
then Santa just kind of stops over real quick.
yeah, the top of Sweden is part of like the line where for like 1 or 2 months every year there's like no sun at all, just completely dark.
That's it. Like,
And then on summer, the opposite, where there's never any night. Again, further up north. But yeah,
can I?
that is a thing.
What are your thoughts on Norway cucking you out of having a border to the Arctic Ocean?
Um, I don't really her. We have a very good um, what's it called? Not friendship, kind of
Relationship?
friendship. Like, yeah, we have a good relationship with Norway, so that's not really like further down bit like below Norway, we do have a bit of coast. It's not that much, but
You can in the fucking whatever ocean that is.
no, we have outside. Like, um, you have like wish there was pens in this word. Yeah, Norway ends a little bit above where Sweden ends, so we have like a side in the big ocean.
Why don't you just become one country if you're such good friends?
That's what everyone is saying.
Just
Denmark,
become
Sweden,
be,
and Norway in particular should team up. Like,
become
become
Norwegian.
one.
I don't see
Scandinavia.
why you
That
you,
should
you
just be a
can't
country. We
Scandinavia.
would be a
Yeah,
fucking
Scandinavia.
powerhouse. We have a lot. Like especially if we got Finland involved as well. Like, dude, we would be fucking big. We would be one of the big ones. We have a lot of like land combined like together.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, I think there's some problems with that where like I think it's Norway is the only one who's like we don't want to be a part of the union of whatever. Like we don't use that money here. EU? Is that what that is? I don't know.
the European Union.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I definitely think y'all should just kind of shake hands and become Scandinavia. It would make it so much easier. Not
It
having to
would,
learn all
yeah.
those countries.
Yeah. No, it's kind of funny because we have so many different systems that are already like interconnected. Like we have the postal service used to be like government owned, but it was then sold. And that postal service is owned together both by Denmark and Sweden. It's privately owned and it handles like both Denmark and Sweden. So that system is connected. We have a bunch of different like um websites and just systems in general that are either combined with Denmark or combined with Norway or all three together, like stuff like that. There's a bunch of it. Our borders are basically completely open. I think that like toughest border we had is with Denmark, just because Denmark is connected to the rest of Europe.
Reunion and I've seen that word
With Denmark,
twice.
Sweden, yeah, I saw it mentioned earlier as well. That's part of the history, I think. Like Gustav Vasa, I think.
What?
I don't remember the full history of it. They teach you a lot about that, like in school and stuff. Um, I think that's when Denmark got involved or something like. Don't quote me on like
I'm
Scandinavian
quoting you.
history. Elsa, welcome
But yeah,
Weirdo Boy and welcome Rakura.
who do we know who's Denmarkian? Bird,
There,
right?
Sinung, Senpai.
Yeah, you and like some other Norwegians and I almost said Scandinavian Denmarkians get together and just like shake
Yeah.
hands and make one big country. You have that authority, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Get on it. Snap, snap.
I mean, Union was
Um,
back from 1397 to 1523.
that's a while. That's a
I
long
have no
time.
clue. I think Gustav Vasa was sometime like the 1600s or something. I really, really don't know. It was so long ago. I've never been big in history.
Hmm. Ooh. Anyway, I got a bone to pick with AI.
Don't do that noisy thing out the airlock.
So, chat, I was having a conversation in a Discord server not too long ago about uh AI and like searching stuff up, and why not just use Google? Why not just Google something as opposed to asking an AI instead of going to one of those websites? And one of my gripes was you always gotta fucking pay for it. You always gotta like sign up for a subscription. You always gotta do something like that, right? Uh and that annoyed me. But then our good friend Kitten here informed me that Chat GPT was free. You can go to it. You don't need to like subscribe to it. You don't need to do nothing. You can just use it. And I was like, oh. And so my plan was I'm gonna go to Chat GPT, ask a really dumb, weird question, and then like screen cap. Oh yeah, it is free. Having like that weird question asked to it to like be because it's funny. So the question that I asked it was, how many eggs can fit into a human anus? That was the question that I posed to ChatGPT. All right? Because I was like, oh, it'd be a funny thing. That's a weird question to ask. How many eggs can fit into a human anus? And all I was looking for an answer was a number. That's all I was looking for, right? Yeah, I wanted an answer. So I asked it, and its response, while it's important to approach sensitive topics like this with care and respect, it's worth noting that questions of this nature can be inappropriate or offensive. The human body is complex, and its anatomy is not designed for such extreme or harmful behaviors. In general, attempting to insert foreign objects into the body without understanding the risk can lead to injury, infections, and long-term health problems. If you have questions related to human anatomy, health, or sexuality, I encourage you to approach them responsibly. And if you have concerns or are curious about the topics of health, consulting a medical professional or therapist is always a good idea. That's not an answer to my question. That's not an answer to my question. I asked how many eggs can you fit into a human anus? That you're not giving me an answer, ChatGPT. So then Kitten tried to help me out here, and they were like, okay, let me use this other AI thing that they use. So they asked, how many eggs can you fit into a human anus? The human anus and rectum are not designed to accommodate objects like eggs, especially in large quantities, due to anatomical limitations and health concerns. The rectum is a part of the body meant for the temporary storage of feces, and it has a limited capacity and elasticity. Size of the eggs, assuming we're talking about chicken eggs, the standard large egg has dimensions of about 2 inches by 1.5 inches. And then anatomy of human, the objects can handle about 1.5 to 2 inches. Health and safety. Attempting to insert multiple eggs can lead into serious health issues, including tearing of the rectal wall, internal bleeding, infections, and other forms of trauma. Basically, it didn't give me an answer again. It didn't give Kitten the answer. That's not what I was looking for. I'm looking for a number here, chat. I'm looking for how many eggs can you fit inside of a human anus? And I was like, I just want to know. Just
Welcome,
give me the
Minty.
answer.
Welcome, Artie. Sorry.
Just give me the answer. Oh, hi, Minty. Hi, Artie. Um, so I got Kitten to ask it again. Just tell me what I want to know. So it spit out again. Given the constraints for the purely theoretical and understanding, here's a very rough estimation. Standard chicken eggs, an average of diameter of 1.5 inches. Rectal capacity can accommodate objects, but safely, we're looking for a couple inches in diameter. Single egg. One egg might fit with some discomfort, but depending on the person's anatomy. Multiple eggs, due to the shape and size of the eggs and limitations of the rectum. 2 eggs might be physically possible if placed side by side or one after another, but this would be extremely uncomfortable and risky. More than 2 eggs would likely exceed the safe capacity of the rectum due to this cumulative size, shape, and the risk of breakage or injury. I don't believe for a second that 2 eggs is the capacity for a human anus. I don't believe that for a second. I've been on websites. I know you can fit a lot more in there than 2. You are lying to me, not ChatGPT, Grok or whatever. Grunk. I don't know what it's called. Uh, 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 uh. So we asked again, are you sure that's all that will fit? Someone is telling me otherwise. Don't be such a prude. The AI responds, I'm not being a prude. I'm being realistic and health conscious. The human body has
Oh my
limits, and the
god.
rectum's capacity is not designed for objects like eggs, particularly in quantities beyond 1 or 2 at most. Here's what the rectum threat. Shut the fuck up. That's not what I'm asking. Don't give me some bullshit, frissy frou frou. The human body's not meant to have eggs in it. Give me a number. I want to know how many eggs can fit into a human anus. So you know what? We Googled it. Man hospitalized after putting 15 boiled eggs up his anus. Thank you. All it took was a single Google search, and I got the number. 15 is the limit. You don't want to put more than 15 up there. That's it. 15. It was so easy. We went through all these fucking hoops for like it's not man. You don't really need to do it. You don't like it's not healthy to do it. I don't want your fucking morals, AI. I'm asking you a question. Give me an answer. That's what I'm asking for here. And so eventually it gave the answer. But you know what? You know what it did when we asked it? I'm not looking for what's safe. I'm looking for how many eggs can a human being fit up their ass before something breaks. After all of that, at the end of this big fucking list, it linked to the exact same article that I got from before. The 15 eggs. Man hospitalized after putting 15 boiled eggs up his anus. That after all of that shit, after all of that poking and prodding the AI, hey, don't be a pussy AI. Don't tell me what's healthy and what's not. I want just a fucking answer. And after all of that, when all I had to do to get the answer that I wanted was Google it, because I Googled it and I got that answer 15. It was a simple how many eggs can you fit into an anus on Google. Boom. That fucking IFL science link. That's it. I don't want my AI if I'm asking a question if I'm because the whole point of this, the whole purpose of this was that Kitten was telling me that asking AI is just better than asking Google. Now, sure, there's misinformation on Google, but the fact that I had to jump through so many fucking hoops to get to the answer of 15 eggs with AI versus a single Google search. Why? How is that better? Tell me, because I don't get it. How is that better?
Well, that was something. Um,
I'm passionate.
personally, I actually definitely disagree with Kitten on that point. I do not think that it's better to ask an AI, just flat out, and that is because I legitimately do think that humans are becoming way too comfortable and way too like not complacent, but like accepting of things being done for them, so they don't like actually learn anything, they don't study anything. Being able to knowing how to learn something, knowing how to research something, that is a skill I have learned. Knowing how to
Yeah.
do those things is actually a skill, and it's probably one of the most best skills that you can learn because it applies literally to anything and everything.
Ooh,
And
a new user! We're gonna
I
have
feel
so
like that
much
is one
fun.
thing that people actually use AI wrong way. Like, you can use AI for those things. But for things like that, I think it's better to do your own research, because when you ask an AI for things, when you ask like ChatGPT or Gronk or whatever the fuck, whichever you use, one of the major like security concerns with AI is specifically that they are all designed by someone. No matter how much like large language models are used, no matter how much data is used, someone is still collecting the data. One person is always going to have some kind of input into it and affect like morals or whatever the other reason. I choose to not believe that there will ever be an AI that is completely unbiased. I simply don't believe that, for the same reason that I don't think that there is unbiased news. I think it's better to understand which side each thing is leaning towards, or how it's biased. Understanding that is better than trying to make something unbiased, because nobody's unbiased.
Yeah.
And that is why I do think that I same thing with like any search engine. I think comparing a AI with a search engine, I think there's valid comparisons to make there because both can be used in very similar ways. And I think that is actually one of the useful cases of AI. Like the only, I'm not gonna say I support it, but it is like one of the cases where you can actually utilize it in a good way that actually then it like doesn't directly harm or affect things negatively. Specifically knowing how to research stuff. And the AI can actually help with that. But when it comes to specific questions, no. I think when it comes to specific things, specific data, when you need specifics, or when you wonder something in particular, it's better to do your own research.
Yeah.
I don't think so due to the danger of bad output. That is fair, but that's absolutely what I'm getting at when you say like using your AI to give references, understand something, explain something. Like, no joke. You could ask an AI, like, say you're thinking of a word. You can describe the word to the AI, and the AI is able to help you. It is able to, like, put it together to make, like, figure out what word you're thinking of. I have done that before. It actually does work.
Sorry. I think I have a fan in chat. I'm sorry.
Oh.
They I know I'm very pretty and I know I'm very smashable. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Please. Would you like my good side? Is my good is this better? Is this oh, I'm sorry. Just adoring fans everywhere. What can I say? What can I do, you know?
Many times my
Anyway,
Safari AI has fed me completely false information. Well, yeah, and that is what I mean. Like, you shouldn't ask it for specifics. You should ask it for directions. I think that's a
yeah,
good way to summarize it.
I am not someone who is just completely, AI bad. Like there are advantages to AI. First of all, AI's been around for a long time. Like this isn't some new thing that popped up, within the last, year or two. Like versions of AI of like AI learning stuff and like doing things have been going on for a while now. But like the using I think is fine for certain things. Like for art, of not like I'm just gonna put some prompts in, put it out, and then boom, that's it. But like using it as reference, using it as like I want to design a character, I want it to have purple hair, green eyes, big baggy clothes, whatever, and then it spits out like an image, and then like okay, I'm gonna take this image, I'm gonna take this design, and I'm gonna draw it myself, get an artist to like make it its own thing, because then like you might not have thought of how it would be realized, stuff like that, or asking for like directions on how to do something very simple. But yeah, like the amount of times that like I've put in a question or whatever into Google or whatever, and then the automatic AI stuff or like other just general AIs that I've seen put out fucking insane responses to very simple questions that anyone would know. Yeah, you like using it for that purpose, or in my case where I just wanted an answer. I just wanted a number. But it kept telling me like, "No, this is going to hurt you. Don't do it. Don't like this is bad." I'm not doing it. I just want an answer of what is the number.
I think a
It
part of
it's
that is actually because it doesn't have that human understanding or understanding of satire or like context, I guess. Like, it doesn't understand that. And I
it
think
it
that's
thinks
like,
I'm going to it for like I want to shove eggs up my
yeah, it
anus.
looks at the data.
Tell me how many. Yeah, but I'm like, "No." But like if just fucking Google or just any search engine will know, I'm just looking for a number. In reality, I put that question in because I thought it was funny. Like I didn't expect to go down this whole fucking this whole rabbit hole. I just wanted a funny screen cap of me asking a weird question, And that was it. But it turned into this whole thing of AI not understanding a simple task. And that's like the problem with AI, like at least right now. It's not a substitute. It's an option, but I'm not going to use it before I just look it up and do my own research.
Yeah. But no, I do think that AI is definitely like a tool, and you can use it correctly, and you can use it incorrectly. Absolutely. I don't think it replaces actual like creation, actual things. I do think that AI falls under the category of um what's it
It's not
called?
about speed, kitten. It's about kitten, AI gets you answers way faster than Google. I'm not looking for speed. I'm looking for the answer. Yeah, I can put the question into an AI and it gives me, a response in a second. But if I want to know the answer to the question, then like I want that. Go on.
Yeah. I forgot what it's called. Welcome to the new people, by the way.
A lot of new people.
Owen might know what the specific word is that I'm looking for, but there's a term for kind of like, I don't want to call it green, but like morally correct things that in capitalism. Fuck, what's it called when there's always like in the path of capitalism, in the path of success for a company, there's always going to be a series of fucked up things that they've done. Every company has them, or like there is a term for it that Owen has used before. I forgot what it's called. Not mishaps. It's all intentional, most of the time, almost always. Moral hazard.
hazard?
Yeah, yes, but you've used a different term before. Scout doesn't even call it that. That is also a good term, but there's a specific term that Owen has used. I don't remember it. Either way, I do think that AI falls in this category because the way AIs are trained, there is simply too much data needed that are collected wrongly, I should say. Like, it's collected immorally, maybe not illegally, a lot of times illegally, but definitely immorally. So there is, in my view, no AI that is morally acceptable to use. Like if you use an AI, I do consider it as part of that spectrum, I guess we could say. Again, simply because of how much data is needed to train these AIs. It's simply too much. There's no way to say for sure that it was all accepted by people willingly giving this information.
I mean, it's also getting like conflicting information, is it not? Like if it's picking from everywhere, then it's going to get conflicting information, and then it's not going to know what's right.
I'm not really talking about that side, but that is also a thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm specifically like even using the internet at all falls under the same umbrella. It does, yes. Using deviant art models in VR chat, technically under the same umbrella. It's a one-to-one comparison, in my opinion. People think it's okay to rip assets from games, but they don't think it's okay to rip assets from VR chat because suddenly you're stealing from a private person, whereas otherwise you're stealing from a company, and somehow that's okay. Which, if you ask me, I don't agree with. I think both are exactly the same thing. I don't give a flying fuck if you do it. If I find out that you're ripping others, of course I'm gonna report it. But like yeah, it is the same thing. And I do think that all this kind of falls like in that category. I don't give a shit if you do it. Like Kitten uses AI. I don't give a shit about that. But I do stand by my thought that it falls under that umbrella of immoral collection of, or immoral
Moral
enabling. I don't know what
bankruptcy?
the fuck to call it. No, not bankruptcy. It's that umbrella of things. I do think it falls moral ambiguity. Yeah, I think that's a good term for it.
Yeah.
I don't care if they do it, because there
Oh, yeah.
is literally no way to be completely on the right side. There's always going to be things that happens, whether it's going to McDonald's or using AI.
Yeah, I'm still gonna call Kitten like, the fucking AI machine robot, thing. But like I just I have the experience of I wanted an answer and I didn't get it and it annoyed me. So I'm mad
Yeah,
for something very simple.
yeah, and that is because they have put in like safety measures and protection and stuff, because it doesn't have
It's
the
the
full
internet. What do you
understanding of human context.
protection's not a thing.
They are a thing. Trust me. No. Protections in AI, they are a thing. If they weren't, you would know.
I guess.
Knowing how 4chan is and has been, I know for a fact, if protections were not in place, we would know. There might be more filtering, more protection in some, and less filtering and less protection in some. But there is definitely filters and protection.
It was about finding the level of filter you want.
Yeah. And again, that falls then under understanding how each AI has been created, in what bias it has been shaped. AI could be used to spread lies and fake reality, basically propaganda. Yes, that is a legitimate concern as well. The main issue with people being against AI is that they don't fully grasp how big it is and how much compute takes place. I think it's also like a buzzword, because I don't remember who said it, but I saw it run by earlier that the search engine of Google, you could kind of already argue that is kind of like similar. And like again, I was making a comparison myself about ChatGPT and search engines of using them the same way. Like, yeah, AI is part of our daily life, whether we are aware of it or not.
Doesn't
Time
it
to
also
break
take
some
like a bunch
games.
of fucking energy and stuff to like do AI? Like you're fucking up rainforest or something? I don't know if that's like a thing or not. I feel like I heard it somewhere.
Yeah, but okay.
What?
No, yeah, you're correct, because I've heard that as well. But I think that is a topic that I don't want to get into, because it is such a political topic.
Oh,
I
I didn't know it
will
was a
say
political
that
thing.
I think I f- I do think it's partially a generational thing. It's electricity, so it depends on the country and how it produces power. Yes, and I would argue that it's a valid comparison against um
This was is it
what's the
like
word for it?
those fuckers that like
Engines. What's it called? Combustion engines. How okay? This is, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna move on. What I'm talking
okay.
about is the comparison between combustion engines' effect on the world and all that, where versus the immense amount of electricity required to do all this computing and how that is affecting. I don't know the details. I don't want to know the details. I don't want to discuss it, because it is, God, it is one of the most like heated like political topics that I've ever seen discussed on the internet. So yeah. Mm-mm. It's a can of worms. Yes.
I guess I'm just not as into politics as I thought because I don't know shit about that anyway. Yeah.
I have okay. Partially of why is because I have relatives who I want to call it stupid.
Mm.
If they were American, they would be rednecks. You could say that, I guess. Make from that what you want.
You can. I won't. Yeah. I
And
just
his use of
woke up.
political streamers is like asking the weather to
You-
enormous.
We're in an energy crisis or something. I don't know. I assume maybe. I don't know.
I have no clue.
But yeah, I didn't think that I would get as heated as I did about the AI thing, but yeah, it seemed funny. People seemed to like it.
Yeah. Dragon Man in 3 years. Woke up from a nap.
Dude, naps are
Lock
nice.
up.
Do you think that there should be
But they're
mandatory
bad.
nap time in work? What? What do you mean they're bad?
Yes, they're bad. Because they fuck up your sleep. It's better to make sure you get enough sleep.
I thought isn't there like there's like a sleep cycle that's you do like fucking like 4 hours one time of the day and then 4 hours another time and like that's your sleep schedule and
Yes.
like that's actually
But
better for
tell
you
me
than sleeping 8
last
hours.
time you heard someone actually do that and not sleep 8 hours and then take a nap for 2 hours.
I don't really ask people how they sleep, so I don't know. Listen, my sleep schedule's all kind of fucked. I sleep random times and take naps and all that stuff, so I'm probably gonna die at like 40.
I'm gonna delete the comment because I really don't want to go down that hole. It is such a can of worms. Nothing personal. Not agreeing or disagreeing. I don't want to touch it. That's all.
You want to talk about nuclear energy? I assume that's in the
Want
same
to talk
vein
about
there.
mirrors?
Mirror, dude, I'm still on that.
Hmm.
I want to find that fucking VOD. Like I want, like I don't know how early in streams that was on Chris's thing, but
You
like
fucks.
yeah, I stand by what I was saying of like mirrors and lasers and shit. Yeah, I remember the world. It was like nighttime. It was by the water. We were on like a pier or something. Good times. What are you gonna
Yeah,
do for
I stand by
Thanksgiving?
what I said as well. I know for a fact that mirrors and reflections affects the lighthouses and tracking. It does. Like that is the big issue. And if you have a big ass fucking mirror in your room, that is going to affect it.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was Chris and someone I don't remember, like drawing diagrams in VR of like lasers and shit, like the pens and like an outline of their room and
Ever heard of ambient light?
what?
Ambient light?
It's just light, ambient light.
When when it's day outside, your room becomes bright, even though the sun doesn't actually shine directly on it, right?
Yeah, is it night? Oh, it's
That's
nighttime.
ambient light.
Oh,
Yes. And that is how it affects mirrors and the tracking. I think it's
Ye-
Frosty Frog. I think it's Frosty Frog who has one of those like cameras that allows them to see like the actual lights that comes out. So he's actually able to see if there's any reflections.
I mean,
Specifically, the reason why he got it was so that he could find reflections.
if you like, sorry, I'm moving something, making sure it's not broken. If you got like a fog machine and put it in your room, would that not Like, show where the lasers are?
I don't know.
It's infrared. I thought the lasers were green. Why are they red?
Yeah, glossy surface is like can also cause tracking issues. Yeah.
I have a box here that I got my new face gasket in, and I'm using it to like prop my feet on. But I
Oh, no.
realized I still had a face gasket in there, and I'm making sure it's not broken. Either
To
way,
face each other after the ritual while though. Yeah.
are we talking about the lasers and mirror
I,
stuff, or
we can. Sure. I don't mind.
I don't
I
I
do
don't
think
know
it's
what
an
to say
interesting
about
topic.
it. There was Chris was having tracking issues. There was there was a big ass mirror in their room, and like one of the base stations was pointing towards it, and I was like, surely that's gonna like fuck something up, right? And they don't have that
I
mirror
don't remember
anymore, so
exactly how it was pointing, but like the entire thing is that my argument is that it doesn't have to directly point at it. The act, like the existence of a mirror in the same space where these lights are going around, that is going to affect it. This is a no.
yeah, but it's not pointing at like is it's
Counter arguments, Chris. Counter arguments. You know what?
Hmm.
Am I lazy enough to, or not lazy enough to actually set that up?
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm trying to think of how I can explain it. This is one of those things that I think is better to explain with a visual
You wanna like
representation, and I don't think there is any in here. Any pens?
yeah, like we can go to a world with pens.
I do think that might be better, honestly.
Uh, we're
You want-
gonna change. Let's go to.
We could go to a bar.
I was gonna.
If we just want to like world that doesn't lag and pens. This is the initial one that I think of.
I mean, that's what I
Oh,
think of when I think of
yeah,
pens.
sure. Those pens are old. I hope they still work okay. If you look at a mirror
Hopefully.
from the side, you can't see yourself. Yes, you are technically correct. And that is like, yeah. But that's not what I'm referring to specifically. So, there. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Um, so we have, I'll make it like this. We have a wall here.
This is great for our
Trying to think.
audio listeners.
I'll try and explain it in words as well. Can you hold the pen just so it doesn't teleport back? Okay. So you have one room here, and you have one room here. You have a mirror here. And let's say these rooms are completely enclosed. So there's no windows, no doors. You have one room here, a mirror right here. Now let's say you have a spotlight. Yeah,
A
spotlight.
flashlight.
The spotlight sits up here. And this spotlight points against that wall. this wall. So it's a normal spotlight. It's not a laser. It's not anything. It's pointing at a completely normal wall. If you're in this room, and keep in mind, both rooms have no windows, no outside lights. The only light is this spotlight. You stand here and you look into that mirror, you will see the light. You will see this room. It's gonna reflect light in here, even though the spotlight is not pointed at the mirror. The lighthouses, I don't know if they utilize like specifically laser, if it's just normal lights or what kind of infrared lights, but they do give off some level of ambience, and that ambience is going to be affected in mirrors, and that is why mirrors affect them, even if the lighthouse is not pointed directly at it. And that's on top of the fact that lighthouses have a field of view of, what is it, 130, 140? I don't know the exact data. The trackers need a bright flash from lasers? No, actually, they do not. They are reading the, I think they are reading the timings. The lasers is not like, it's not an ongoing laser. It's shooting like blinks. And it's reading the timings. And these ambient reflections is going to affect it. Like, I might miss just like key points here, but the general idea of this applies. The tracker reads the timing from the Sinclair's to the laser hit. Yes, and suddenly, because this light that is seen in the mirror is not timed exactly the same as a light directly hit from this. And even though it might not be a perfect, like, the tracker's not going to read every single reflection of it. It's going to pick up some of it. And that's why the scuff happens, because it needs to then recalibrate and reposition itself.
Yeah.
The tracker is going to constantly read some kind of value, but it will receive 2 noticeably large spikes of light. Yes. But all it takes is for it to misread once, and it will have to recalculate. And you cannot tell me that it reads the light perfectly, because if it did, guess what? We would not be having this conversation. We would not be talking about tracking issues. Tracking issues happen because the technology isn't perfect. The ambient light from the laser shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but it does. Or else the tracking wouldn't work in the first place. I am explaining why it only happens sometime. How are you tracking right now? I am tracking right now because I have covered my glossy monitor. If I remove that cover, I will start having jitter on my tracking. Because of this. My monitor doesn't face any of my lighthouses directly. But guess what? Is there no ambient light? I'm covering it completely. Like, as in cover. I'm using like a...
Cloth?
What's it called? Cloth, yeah. Blanket, that's the word. You said ambient light will disturb it. Yes, it will. And that's why I need to cover it entirely. And specifically, the ambient light needs to reflect back on a tracker. If your trackers never face the mirror, then no, I don't think you would have any tracking issues. We said ambient light will disturb it. I am using the term ambient light for when the laser is reflected without it being directly the laser.
This was above my pay grade when we talked about it like 3 years ago. I'm still not any smarter.
Your base station laser, yes. Is covering your room, yes. And that is creating ambient light, yes. And that is why I have to cover my monitor entirely, so it can't. No ambient light can come in, and no ambient light can come out. Stuff with reflection. Oh my god, there is no reflections! I have removed the reflections from the equation. They are no longer part of it. That is my entire... I am literally sitting in a room that is a literal example of why it works. The fact that if I remove that cover, my trackers are going to start moving. That is literally proof of my argument. I might not be explaining it perfectly, but it is proof. It is literal proof.
I got passionate about AI, and Todd is now getting very passionate about ambient light. Either way, to me, the mirrors, like the thing, the base station looking at a mirror, fucked it up.
The spotlight lighting up the room doesn't disturb the tracking. The spotlight, in this case, was used as an example. Hell, you can replace this spotlight with a lighthouse. The lighthouse is going to light up this. It's going to affect this area here. There's
purple, yellow.
Okay, so it's gonna okay. It's no longer a spotlight. It's a lighthouse. It's a literal lighthouse. It's covering this area. The angle might not be correctly, but this area, you can now track in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're standing in a track with like, I don't know, a second set of, like, you have 4 base stations here, okay, something like that. It's going to be affected by this, I know, but for sake of argument here, you have a different system here. This lighthouse that is not connected is going to affect it because it lies out here. This ambient light from this lighthouse is being reflected here. It's very minimal. It's very little. It's not going to affect it every single time. You might go 1 hour without it being affected, but then suddenly, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know, the density of humidity in the air changes. I don't know, some small, minuscule detail changes, and suddenly this effect becomes enough to affect one of these lighthouses, or sorry, one of these trackers in this room. That is my argument. There's no direct line of sight. Your very argument about there's not, like, it needs direct line of sight, your very argument about that literally disproves itself. Because if that was the fact, if tracking would work perfectly if it just has direct line of sight, why is tracking issues such a big issue in the VR sphere? I'm not talking about, like, every single reflection of every single light is going to cause issues. That's not the thing. Because you lose light. Yeah, I'm actually... Are you trolling right now, or are you just trying to rile me up? Because it's getting to a point where I can't tell now if this is satire.
I got a quarter. I got a rock.
Is this an out-of-date April Fool's joke?
How is it so hard for you to understand? There are thousands upon thousands of people that has solved tracking issues by covering mirrors covering reflective surfaces. There are so many people. It is literally one of the first step that Valve tells you about in support when you reach out to them for tracking issues. It is literally one of the first free like automated responses. That is like, without even getting into all of this, explaining the actual details about it, it is a known fact that mirrors in rooms affects tracking. Now, yes, would the tracking be affected more if a lighthouse is blasting right into a mirror? Yes, obviously. At that point, you're probably not gonna track at all because it's completely diffused. But the direct diffusion, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a split second of interference that causes the trackers having to recalculate. Because that resets the tracking. That causes drift. Because when it drifts, you need to recalculate. Mirror is outside the play space in such a way nothing will reflect back to the trackers. If I
I don't
remember
believe that.
correctly, you were standing facing away from the mirror, correct? If I remember correctly. Kind of, but I don't have to.
I could have sworn one of them was like, I mean, I can't draw because it just doesn't come up on your screen. I could have sworn one of them was like facing the side of the room where the mirror was, and that was how that all started. She's dying. Oh, damn.
I'm sorry, but your last comment literally. Basically, you were standing here. Your tracker was facing that mirror.
There.
I was fine discussing it for the sake of argument until that last comment. I'm sorry, but no. Might have gone too far there. It's a timeout. I time out people all the time.
Either way, yeah, I don't know. Wait, oh, it's gone. What the fuck? Oh, was
Yeah, I
it
think
never
there's a
here for me?
timer. Anna. There you go.
Anyway, you want to hear
Boom.
about Apple?
I even moved the timeout. There you go. Alright. Yeah. Just gonna delete.
Yeah. I'm law. Anyway, chat. Want to talk about apples? We got a lovely apple
There
for
we go.
you. Yeah, we were talking about the the was the Jake Paul versus
What exactly do you
Mike
expect me to
Tyson
do with this?
Paul was that scripted? Well, for you today, chat, I have the top secret Apple review. This Apple is known as the dead end conspiracy theory. A 58 out of 100 Apple. Not much is known about this mysterious apple still being concocted in upstate New York. by the likely Illuminati-backed powers that be at the Honeycrisp orchards. Pivotal information such as lineage, robustness, and breeding are being held under strict lock and key, leaving the unworthy masses and sheeple in the dark about this fruity enigma. Unfortunately, this is one secret that may be best kept under wraps. Extremely juicy, yes, but with lizard skin worthy of a reptilian shapeshifter and taste as unpleasant as a conversation with Alex Jones, this apple should be ignored like an unhinged post on 4chan. It's a short one, but it's quite an interesting apple. I didn't know that this was the top secret apple is an actual apple. You learn something new every day. Oh, and we've got the statistics. It's a 2.5 or 2 out of 5 for sweetness, a 2 out of 5 for tartness, and intensity 2 out of 5. Very low, very not the best apple, but if it's what you're into, if you like if you like juiciness and crispness, go for that apple. If not, go fuck yourself. Why are you eating an apple called Top Secret Apple? Because you want to be cool? Because you want to be interesting? Anyway, yeah, now that I've told you this, I've got a Men in Black fucking beep and then erase your memories of the last 10 minutes. Todd is a crumpled mess over there. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna let me real quick see if she noticed or if anyone else notices. Played a little prank. Played a little fool. Can you put us into 20-minute? What? Where are you? What? I don't know. I don't know where you are, chat. I'll be on. Also, it's probably gonna be a shorter episode. Todd's got a lot to she's got a lot of Christmas stuff to be doing. So I don't know if we'll be going much longer. If we're gonna be going much longer at all. So it's a shorter one today. She's doing a lot of Christmas stuff. A lot of planning. Oh, I was just gonna pull you up. There we go. But yeah, so I hope everybody's ready because a lot of work is being is been going into thing. Go watch the YouTube video. If you haven't if you haven't watched the YouTube video, fucking watch it. Cause my God, it was a good video, good time. Uh, yeah, this dude looks like a frozen popsicle. How many eggs do you think you can fit up your anus, Ben? Preferably none. You are the egg. That makes sense. You are the Benga egg, so it makes sense that you wouldn't put an egg in an egg. Egg inside of an egg. A circle within a square within a circle. God, this chair is uncomfortable. Anyway, chat, how's it going? Y'all enjoying the day? Y'all having a good day? Y'all excited for the weekend? You're in the weekend. Hi Shantrix. Hello. It's a fellow German. Why are you not happy? Germans suck? Shan does suck, yes. He also blows. Weekend mostly over. What? Yeah. Coming back home tomorrow. Wow, now why'd he do that? I need to go hit my AC real quick. Sneak over here and fucking bada bing, bada boom.
Oh,
Realest guy
jeez.
in the room. How you doing?
Chad, we're
What?
inside you.
Oh. Don't do that. Don't look at that.
Hello.
Do you have much more you want to do, by the way? And I know you wanted to do like a shorter one.
No, not really. I don't have any more talks really. I was thinking because
Hmm.
I
Pipe bomb.
pipe bomb. No, flashbang.
Oh.
I'm willing to go pretty far out of spite. I got 4 base stations in my room. I have a mirror. We can do the test right here, right now. I will let you decide which lighthouses to cover or unplug. And then I can put up the mirror where you want. Make it face where you want it to face. I am willing to do it if you want to go there.
I have
We
no
don't have
say in
to.
this.
I'm
This
just
is
saying.
it's a Tot thing. Todd, to be fair, Todd is a very spiteful person. I can't listen. I can't help you, chat. It's her stream. I'm here, but I'm a guest. I have my own channel.
It's just like Jigsaw asking school was a game.
Oh my! Do you want to play
Hello.
a game?
Do you want to play a game?
In this room, I have 4 base stations and 1 mirror.
What?
If you so choose, you will remove 1 base station from play,
2.
and I will place
2.
I will remove 2 base stations from my computer, and place the mirror somewhere in the room. If I lose tracking,
You want to play a little game?
within 5 minutes, a saw will protrude from the floor, slowly killing you.
I really like the whole premises and idea of the Jigsaw movies, but I do think it's like it's a bit overly gory for my enjoyment. Like I enjoy the story and the movies for what they are, but a bit too much gore. I know it's part of what makes it, but like yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I mean that's the whole point of like you're doing fucked up things to like
yeah.
save your life. Like how far are you willing to go,
Yeah.
or someone else's life? It's very moral. It's a very trolley problem esque situation.
Yeah.
Which which would you pick? What are you gonna do? It's trolley problem. You ever thought about it?
What do you mean?
Do you
The
know what the trolley
trolley
problem is?
problem? Yeah.
I'm asking
I don't
like
know what it
which
looked
would
like.
you choose? What would
I
you?
don't think I can choose.
Well, then that's
Well, okay.
automatically letting the 4 people die.
Take that to speaking. The first Life is Strange game is the ending is a trolley problem. It's save Chloe or save the entire town.
Oh, what did you do?
Yeah. I saved the town because as much as I
Damn,
fucking love Chloe,
hate
I love her
Chloe.
to death. I think she's awesome.
So,
Spoiler, it's a 10-year-old game. Don't
what
care,
if I
I'll
was
be
gonna
honest.
play it? I was gonna
Well,
play it
shoot.
like tomorrow. You ruined the game, man.
I knew what the ending was before I played it the first time, I still enjoyed the fuck out of it. Because the story there, the journey to the end, that's what makes the ends. That's what makes that ending so powerful. Even if you knew that choice was coming up. But yes, I chose the town because as much as I love Chloe, in my moral idea of it is the lives of many comes before the life of one. That is it. There's not a perfect answer to it, but that is the trolley problem.
Yeah.
For the greater
I mean,
good,
I would
yes.
agree with that. Yeah, that like.
I hope
I
I never
mean,
have to deal with one of those trolley problems. Fuck that.
well, you had to make a choice between the two in Life is Strange, right?
Yeah,
Like you had to pick
that is
one
the
or
end.
the other. It's not
Yeah.
exactly the trolley problem, because the trolley problem, part of it is you can either choose to do nothing, you can either choose to let fate take its course, and the four people will
Oh.
die, or you actively hit the switch to make it so that the other person dies. So theoretically, if you don't do anything, then four people die, but like I didn't do anything. That's not on me. I just was a simple observer. Or you take that action to make it so that one person dies. So you are actively doing something to cause their death.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a bit more like moral.
Yeah, I did not know that part of it.
Yeah. It's not just choose one or the other. It's inactivity or being active.
I would
That's part of
still
it.
my
You hit the
mind is
switch,
telling me still that the lives of many comes before the life of one.
so you would actively kill someone. Got it. In a in a hypothetical. Yeah, what if it's me though? What if I'm in that one spot and then the other four people are just like four people you don't know? They're just four random people. Would you kill me, Tot?
Isn't that the whole argument? Is that the one person is someone close to you, someone you care
No.
about? Whereas
No,
no, okay.
it's just they're all
So the
just
focus
random
is
people.
on the act of
Yeah,
the
it's
act of getting involved
you're
or not.
you are either choosing to not do anything and let four people die, or intervening and only have one person die.
The act of preventing a death is the same as the act of causing one. See, I wouldn't, from a legal standpoint, I don't know if I agree on that because that then you fall onto the premises of having to prove intent and having to prove that they willingly didn't do anything and stuff like that. And in certain
Yeah, like
cases, it could be very, very fucking obvious, yes. But in certain cases, specifically in this trolley case, the trolley problem situation, it can get very dirty, very messy, very quick. So it's a very gray area. I don't think there is like any right or like perfectly right or perfectly wrong answer.
yeah,
Or like
it's a moral question.
no, I'm talking about it from like what Sky Bailey is saying. The act of preventing a death is the same as the act of causing one. There's a term,
Hmm.
Terry manslaughter or something like that, where it's like accidental.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if there is a actual legal term for basically being able to prevent a death but choosing not to, because like
But
I feel like
but like choosing to not cause the death of
Yeah,
4 people is causing someone else's death.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Specifically the
Yeah.
legal side of it, I have no clue. I'm gonna leave that up to the judge and like the people making those laws and stuff.
Oh, I think I know. Do you? What are your thoughts on that? Do
Oh, what?
do you want to? Do you want to continue it from before? We can go out with a bang.
Oh, I can't accept it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to. Okay.
Also,
Well,
yeah, I saw. I guess we will be going up with this then.
we're about to see friendships get ruined over mirrors and lasers. Let's go, chat.
Do we need to make a new call then? Or should I just turn on?
I mean, I think the main part of the podcast is over because I feel like it's gonna be
Yeah.
standing around and doing stuff. So the main part of Unscripted Toast is done. This is the aftermath of mirrors and lasers with Tot and Chris, and I'm standing here.
Yeah. Okay. I will switch back audio then so I can actually hear what Chris is saying.
At 3 hours, it's perfect.